You do. I'm walking over there like, that's a good shot, Josh. Good shot there. Oh, boy. Oh, did you see that ball skid like that?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Holy shit. You know, I'm not saying I would have made it, but that was weird.
Taking care of Dad. I am Ameriprise Financial. He gives us comprehensive advice.
The Yankee Houston game got postponed tonight because of the weather.
Even what's not. We know our financial future is secure. With the right financial advice, it can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial. Inspiration to what if. To what's next. Find out for yourself the 3 little ones this next. Four sharks are out. Sylvie and Nicole have one more chance for a deal. So, world famous guy just walks in the door and says, okay, with Mom, why is yours better than something I can create? What is it that you brought? So, bam, what's the answer?
Accuracy,
Why is your accuracy going to be better than something?
because we spent over a year determining how to make this the most accurate shoe sizing.
So, if I did a search for app that determines child's foot size, to get a feel for the competition, what would I see?
You would say ours, but very
What
well.
else?
You would see a couple other apps.
And what about theirs is different than yours?
The mom has to put the child's foot and then slide her finger on it. A lot of room for parental error. It's not as accurate. We really wanted our students to be able to do that. That's why we went to shopping malls and had kids test it.
Here's one interest. I have a company called Passion Measure. They did a whole exhaustive analysis just on men's shirts. So if you're this body type, the shirt that fits you in this manner.
See it, Joe?
Oh, it's right there.
Oh.
Right behind the.
Oh, okay.
Over there.
I like this. Here, you guys will drive me mad. They'll put me in the loony bin, right?
We would love to work with you. I mean, we really would. And we won't drive you back. We'll work together or we will, sync any of your advice that you have. I mean, I really, really want to get this to parents. We really believe, as you said, that is the future. That we want to be able to have their own, be able to have just
You guys spot that one, Joe? Oh, okay. I didn't know if you remember.
I'll offer you $100,000, 40%. We'll put contingencies on it. 1, I get to go through and test to make sure it works. 2, I get to go through and check to make sure that there's nothing.
What's going on out there, everybody? Looks like we got some people watching, so I'm going to jump on the mic here and give you guys a little fun. We got Tom playing in the dress orange today against Fastest Joseph. donned in blue. So I don't know where they sit exactly. I think Joe's given up 10-7. They played this way the other night, and Joe had several opportunities to win several games and made some critical errors, like scratching on the money ball. Also not playing the score and some things like that, so we'll see if he can't tighten it up here a little bit today. Tom's playing with the keelwood shaft. He seems to like pretty well.
In less than 8 months, we've done over $3 million in sales. Those aren't projections. Those are real numbers.
We're so lucky to have made a deal with Marvel. Just a year later, we're approaching $3.5 million in sales.
Making a deal with Market Large is a lie beyond our wildest dreams.
Shark Tank took a small little product that was run out of my apartment and made it into a multi-million-dollar company.
All right, so Fast Joey shooting from down here near the spot.
In the corporate world, I think there's still a long ways to go, and I want to be the one to make that change.
Shark Tank, we've done almost $6 million.
I don't even know what he's doing, but I don't think it's the right shot.
Continuing the tradition of American innovation. It's awesome to be able to create jobs and provide a living wage.
Of course, having said that, I don't even know what hole's his, so
He's been gone for a long time.
either hole is his. I don't think he's hitting the right ball.
There's never been anything like Shark Tank. It's the most powerful venture capital firm on earth. It has sharks. It has
The scary thing is I'm not sure I'm going to be able to tell what hole he is after he shoots either.
together, magic happens. Our Shark Tank experience has been a roller coaster of emotion. To think that we started in a string tent and now what the future holds for us?
Guessing he is the low right hole.
Pinch myself. Good. I just can't believe this is really happening, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the
I just don't know.
tears thinking about how proud I am to show my daughter that you can do this, you can follow your dreams. I'm truly
And unfortunately, I still don't know because it looks like he shot at the low left hole. Looked like he two-railed it over here, kind of, but like I said, I just don't know. Let's wait and find out. Can't see if we gather some more information here from what Tom does. All right, I'm going to have to guess that Tom is this low right corner, and he's got 0 balls, and Joe's got 4. I don't know what else to guess from here. Joe must have spotted one because there's no coin up here, so he... Oh, I'm going to go ahead and change my prediction. Joe must be this corner. He makes the combo bank, gets position, and he's going to start running some balls. It's kind of scary. I couldn't predict which holes they were from where they were shooting the 2 shots in a row, but I couldn't. Joe just hung this ball up. Didn't get cover. I don't think Tom will shoot this bank shot. I think he'll just dump this ball being up balls. I think he'll be happy to make him shoot from there, being up 4 balls to 2. But you never know. He could try to peel this little bastard. He could try to smoke the bank and then drop the ball. You know, there are some possibilities. I don't see any reason behind any of it, but like I said, I think he's just going to drop the ball. Tom and I kind of have learned from some of the same people and played with the same people. We both play kind of a similar style. Joe is a shooter and probably doesn't process all the moves as quickly or as fast, partially due to lack of experience. Tom's been playing this game probably forever and had quite a bit of time put in with some really, really good players. Just limited in his actual shooting ability. Joe is unlimited in his shooting ability, but he's going to not play the correct shots all the time. Well, Tom's going to be sending something towards his hole. He's going to have to decide. I think it'd be the 5 ball because he can easily play it the safest. But he may elect to be really safe here since he's got a lead and just go ahead and pound this 13 out of here. I don't think he's going to shoot it at his hole. I think he's just going to pound it out, try to put the cue ball near the end rail. But it's awfully tempting to want to go ahead and shoot at your hole here. But when you got a monster behind you like Joey Vola, you got to be real careful, because if he doesn't know what to do, he is going to shoot at his hole. And when he shoots, he generally has a better chance of making the ball than not. It's one weird thing about one pocket. You can play some amazing shots, but your opponent isn't going to just quit. You know, he is going to do something. And you put him in a spot where all he can do is shoot, and that's what he's going to do. He is going to shoot. So it happens a lot, you know. So you just put your opponent in a terrible spot, and all he can do is shoot at his hole. You know, his other choice is just as bad or worse. So Joe caught a surprised that ball slid in there. Looked like when it caught that rail, it might catch that titty down there, but it slid in. It was pocket speed, went in nicely. That was a bad mistake for Joe there. I don't know that Tom's going to get any, but he certainly is going to reverse his position back, get rid of something Joe's. I would think he's going to shoot. I don't know why he wouldn't shoot the 2-ball here at the very least, because you can get safe and leave yourself a bank and get more than one. And so I don't see any way that he doesn't shoot the 2, but just roll it to your hole, overcut it slightly. You want to aim for the right tit, the upper tit. You don't want to miss this ball low and give up a bank. He looks like he's drawing it, like he's going to actually shoot this ball. I wouldn't hit it like that, but he's a better player than me, so I would have floated it and rolled the cue ball down to the end rail. Let's see what old Joe can come up with. There's a 2-rail bank on this 8-ball, although it's very difficult to hit. He could. I'm thinking I'm just playing. Might even just shoot a little stop shot on the 14-1. All right, he might have done okay there. I don't love it though. If he has a cross on this 13, that could be bad. But it looks like it's a little far away. Or not far away from the side rail, but a little far away from the end rail to make that really a decent shot. So he just bunts this ball out. Jammed and rammed it up a little bit. Joe should look to skid off that 13, opening those 2 balls back up, put the cue ball right back where it just was on the end rail up there. Although, I may not like banking the 9-ball into those 2 balls. Just a little bit of draw. Or even just a high left and try to run into the 5-ball is fine too. He hit it well and he's going to touch those balls. I didn't open them up, but he got one down here. Tom can see it, so I think that's all he'll do is bounce this 9-ball up by the 11-4, trying to open those balls up possibly while putting the cue ball underneath the 8. Looks like something that could be kind of sexy. He could go ahead and open up the 11-4 right here and just roll a cue ball. It looks like he's just going to go ahead and play the safest route and just bunt the 9-ball away. Not really trying to. Oh, no, he did go into those balls, like I said. Yeah. So he tried to open up those 2 balls and put the cue ball into the 8. So I like it. Did a little bit extra. That's what you hear me talk about that a lot when we're watching some of these guys play, that you can't play these bad safeties on good players anymore when you're trying to be a good player or beat a good player. And that's just the bottom line. These weak 1-rail, escapes playing 9-ball, or just, one pocket just kind of tossing the ball to your side isn't good enough anymore. You got to do more with it. Got to do damage. That's how you get better at this game. Tom's got them all cleared now. 4-1 lead. So he needs 3 before Joey gets 8. Joe's going to 10, but already spotted 1. So he has 9 left to get. 1 on the tray, leaves 8 left to get. That's a whole lot of balls, and they're all up table. So it's not where Joe would want them. Joe would want them back down here already, so he could pick them all off in one shot, or at least as many as possible. Tom's going to bank the 2-ball here, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty wide open and free, and not too bad of a shot. look comfortable getting on it, though. The angle is just a touch weird, but you can really just go ahead and just try to make this ball because really you can't get too bad on it. Well, having said that, that's one bad spot. Because now, Joey's got a shot, possible bank on the 2 afterwards, and if everything goes right, he could get behind the 9-11. There's 4 balls sitting here for Joe if he played them good, which he'd already messed it up. He could still make this bank, but it's difficult. You gotta let the cue ball go. Good news is that 4-12, I think, are up there. Could use as blockers, but they could also be sell-up balls. You slide off one of them the wrong way, and the other one's going to be sitting there fat looking at the hole. 11-9 is not on, but yeah, it's really not really on without throwing a ball to the other guy's hole, too. Joey made this bank, though. Left it hanging. Made it good enough. So Tom's starting to have that tough situation where it's, do you just go ahead and give him this ball while not getting anything, or do you want to risk popping this 4-ball in, with that side pocket looming large over there? I think there's no chance of that. He's going to dump this 2, try to leave the cue ball right there on the end rail and make Joe operate from there.
Where would you go?
One at a time, Joe. It's a long way to go that way, but when you're giving up weight, you prefer to be the guy that runs the high run for balls for the day, the game, minute, turn, whatever you want to call it. But it's the same problem Joe and I have when we play one pocket. He's a ball shooter, not one pocket, but a straight pull. He is nothing but a ball shooting son bitch, man, and he'll make most of what he shoots at. But for some reason, he hasn't really been, imposing his will on his opponents. He hasn't been able to get it to a point where whatever they leave, he's going to shoot in his hole. His opponents are leaving him some nasty stuff, man, and he's going to have to get better at moving, to beat these guys to the shots, instead of just taking the challenging shots that they're giving him. It's one thing to be a mover, like I am, and beat a guy to a shot, but if you can't make the shot and run out a few while you're at it, it doesn't matter if you beat him to it. Vice versa, if you can't beat a guy to the shot, man, he's out moving you all day. It's a long day.
I think where we're at is what we're comfortable with, an 18% offer.
Yeah.
$50,000.
I think Joe should go ahead and challenge him here. This shot is, he's probably like at least 50-50 to make it or hang it. He should be able to leave the cue ball on the end rail or within an inch or so of it also. If he really wanted to, he could hit this with some pace and a little touch of draw and possibly thwarting that cue ball over there, not even giving up a shot, much less a tester. But Joe chose the really safe route and hit it very well. But nonetheless, he took the safe route, which is fine too. He doesn't have to go for it right now. His opponent still needs 3 balls. That is a sum. So he doesn't have to get crazy here yet, but at some point in time, he's going to need to start getting these balls back up table, get something in his hole, something towards his hole, get some bank shots over there he can get, like the 11. Things are all clogged up over here on Tom's side, but for Tom's sake, they are clogged up. He's not going to give up this game in one shot.
Well, Barbara's offer was very fair. We just needed to see eye to eye on the equity value, which is too much. It has a huge growth potential.
So Joe's got a fat chance. He's got a really good cross on this 9. The cue ball's going to go up right back past behind the 14, and he should have a shot at it if he even runs real long, a shot at the 1. Now, some terrible things that could happen. You could scratch in this. You could hit it way too hard. You could double kiss it. There's the scratch. I don't know why he shot it that way. I'm always sitting there with high inside English, at the very least, trying to get the cue ball, make sure I'm playing up behind those balls up there. I'm not sure about that one. It didn't certainly seem like the way to beat that kiss by going to the outside. It wasn't much to beat either to the inside.
Joe, tell me, do you think that 1 ball's out? I don't know. Do you play all ball out or whatever?
Center ball. Looks like it's good.
Okay.
They're counting the one ball out, and that's going to put
They play
two.
all ball pass sometimes here.
Do they?
But I still think it's
baseball.
okay.
So here we go. He should be able to get the 114, getting himself on 6 and only needing 1, which will leave him a bank shot possibly. So I think Tom's going to put himself in a great position to take this first game down, even though Joe put a decent breakdown on him. But he did left one wired to Tom's hole, so Tom was able to capitalize on that right away and pop a couple balls, take the lead. Finally, he's now capitalizing on Joe making a mistake. We'll see if Joe can get out of his break here in the next rack, and if so, find out if he can take a game down. But losing your break after a good break because of a dead ball is always really frustrating. Nope, Joey's giving up 10-7.
New spirit with a brilliant idea. Brilliant, Laura. Own it. That 3 million went to Brazil thing.
Ooh, he hit that one good. Let's see if it'll slide in for him. I don't think so. Nope, just hung up there a little bit. And it's up there just high enough that it can be banked. You're going to have to leave this ball in the end rail to really bank it, but it's possible. Or you can get high. You know, you can always get up near the stack, a spot to bank it. That's no good there, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know if he has enough rail to bank it from right there. That rail right near the tits can sometimes be a touch soft. Kind of kill the ball. He got away with it. Joe's got a cross on the 11. Put the cue ball behind those 3 balls. Try to get this ball real close to his hole. Or not. I'd have to wager that's what he gets back to at some point in time. I guess you could bank this 12 ball or 15 ball, whatever that ball might be, above the 13. But, man, you're jacked off over a ball. And how are you not shooting it at all here, man? You need some balls, buddy. You're down 6-2. It's time to go now. Now's not the time to give up a bank shot like that when you should have been shooting at your hole. You got to cross that 11 over to your hole, put the cue ball behind them 3 balls, or get it on them 3 balls, or get it over there. I mean, it was time to go there, I think. You're down 6-2. Your opponent needs 1. What are you waiting for? You're just going to let him... I mean, there's too many balls out there. Where were you hoping he wasn't going to... Even if those balls weren't there, he'd be banking the 8. Crossing the 8 to his hole, it's almost unmissable. This is a can't misser here. You know? I wouldn't pray for that one happening again. Now what kind of position are you in? It's not often you get to say a guy to be better off if he scratched, but in this instance we will. Tom's going to take down game 1, and Joe is going to... Nope, it's Tom's break. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to have Sir Thomas breaking. Let's look for for Joe to be a little more aggressive this time, especially when down balls. Tom lays down a monster. Although he has nothing low. So this could be a better break. Could be worse for Joe. Still pretty imposing. It's going to be a multi-move to get out of anything right here. And he's shooting the wrong ball. I don't like that at all. Not in the least. Not at all. I don't think he's going to like it either. There's a lot of shots out of this. I want to tell you all of them.
What is the cost of your box versus that?
We were looking at, say, 10,000 units. The cost for a traditional one will be under $1. This one will be $1.75.
If he shoots the 5, look for it to go off the 11.
It will.
It's a way of controlling the cue ball to speed and getting both balls to move without just letting this go thin. I don't like that. I mean, it worked out for him, but
Getting a lot of rolls, Joe.
Alright.
really simple. Draw a shot off the 11, gets that ball over towards his hole, and a lot less risky.
It was truly a huge moment in my life. So what happened? Boxes up from your mom? Yeah, and they laughed. It was a joke. It was a joke in my family. They say, what do you want to do with your life? And I say, I want to be my own boss. I have this excellent product. I have faith, and I'm going to do it. Then I signed up to be in the Collegiate Entrepreneur Association. That is the largest national.
It's not pretty. If you're looking at kicking it to 7, it's really difficult. There's a scratch there. The 3 rail on this ball, you have to overcut with inside English to get this cue ball down anywhere that's remotely safe. Leaving it right there, I mean, he did every bit as good as I could have hoped if I was on his team while he was shooting that ball. So I have no critique there. He executed it very well. I didn't think he'd get the ball that close to his hole without cutting it a lot more.
Oh, there. I'm sorry. As you can see, I'm still in my work mode. A little tired. Yeah. We played last night. We played 2 games. We just played 2 games, but came down to the last ball each game.
You and Brendan?
Yeah.
They absolutely love the product.
I will buy this product.
Yes, he said, let's get them into Lowe's.
Did he tell you how many he would buy, how many stores he would put it into?
No, because at that point in time, it wasn't manufactured, but he said, come back to me, let's get it into Lowe's. I had a meeting in Illinois, Choice Western, went to the CEO, and he loved it as well. So he said that he would put me in touch with
Yeah.
On the other side of the stack.
I saw that shot, but there was a lot of undue danger there. And I think with the way the balls are positioned, I would have locked it up safe and not tried to jam another ball over there and risk that cue ball getting let go like that. But like I said earlier, that sometimes you got to start doing more to get better. You got to make more happen. You just got to be able to control those things.
I need to get multiple orders to match the prices that they're in.
That's scary shooting that ball first.
Do you know what volumes you need to match the pricing? What would it take to get the price down to?
I mean, I know he's a good player and everything, but man, that little degree of, oh, God bless. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't think he can see that ball. I think shoot the 14 off the 12, put the cue ball 3 rails, About that second diamond over on yours, right where Joe's butt of his cue is right now. 14 off the 12. Try to slide it down as thin as you can and get that cue ball over on the side rail and quadruple them up over here. And just pray that you catch the rail and don't give up the 7. I mean, this is selling out.
Where time is money. At home, for picking up for Christmas, time is not money. Packing up for school, time is not money.
All right. So is he going to cut the 7, bank the 3 clean, bank the 3 into the 11, putting the cue ball in the stack, which is what I like the most. So I'd hit this with just a straight high ball, cutting the 3 slightly so that it would bank off the end rail into the 11, cutting it over and letting the cue ball go straight at the 11 ball or possibly up to the 4 if I misfire.
Maybe it's that you believe so much that you can dominate this
Tom's electing to cut the 7. Like I said, I like the 3 ball shot the best, but I'm always more for getting stuff towards my hole and burying my opponent and getting multiple balls at once.
Feel that you have a better way to do it, I'm going to go all in. I will do whatever it is that you want me to do. If you tell me to jump, I won't ask you how high. I'll pull out the trampoline and
At some point, you gotta get the money. You gotta keep it deep.
All right, so what's old Joe going to do now?
Right now,
The 11 ball will bank, but you could give up some shots. However, with the 5 and 1, the way they're sitting, I might risk it because it's not a bad bank. All you do is get this ball running up just above the tit, and it comes right back towards your hole. The only risk you really have is the cue ball selling out the 1, just that you're not getting the cue ball up high enough because you're trying to control the speed.
Other thing is, an entrepreneur by instinct.
That's what I like there, but
Someone says it's the lowest guy. What do you say? I want you a box?
it was, he kept the ball on the side and protected the 3 ball all right.
Find a way to get it.
Not too bad, but didn't really accomplish a whole lot. I look for Tom to come off the 4 behind the 3.
You're not an entrepreneur. I know.
I don't like this. If you leave that 1 ball, you're getting...
I don't get this. This stuff tastes like
Yeah. See, I think you left him the 1 ball, and so you're just going to be in a worse spot with the less ball on your side. And I'm not positive, but if he can see it. Nope, he couldn't. Well, Joe just gave up a lot of position because I think the cue ball will be between the 4 and 11 when he's done shooting here. Nope, he's not going to be that aggressive. He's just going to pop it and try to stop it down here. And I don't like that too much. I would have slow rolled it and pushed the cue ball up by the 4 and 11. What do you guys think? Joe got a bank here? Does his 3 ball go? Can he spin it to win it? Is the 6 ball sticking out just a little bit? I can't tell. He looks a little disappointed, so I'm guessing that 6 is sticking out just enough if this is a tricky little shot. Yeah, if it's sticking out just a little, I mean, you can curve around this, but he's not even really thinking about it, so it must be sticking out just too much. We left him the 6. So what about crossing the 6 and bringing the cue ball into the 3-8? There's not much to sell out unless that 12-15 is wired to the hole, as a 3 ball or 4 ball combo. And that's the only real big sellout I see. What's up, Big Dwayne?
sort of transition in out of the Army, spend more time with him. The Army has been an awesome experience, but after we had Roman, we wanted to move closer to home. I found this job as an area manager on LinkedIn. They were recruiting veterans with my experience. I applied, and I ended up getting the job. Started a new chapter in my life, and it's all about
Well, here we go. I think he has a good bank shot to his hole here. He wasn't able to pocket it, but he left it in a reasonably good spot. Cue ball's real close to the rail, which is always nice. Got a little protection for his ball closer to his hole. Tom's not in any huge danger. You could follow right through the 3 ball here. Could play higher up on the side rail somewhere. I think he's looking like he's going to try to figure out a way to follow through this 3 ball. He's got a good chance of leaving a bank, though, by shooting it. I think that's what he's trying to figure out a way to avoid. But there's going to be all right, so he went that way to try to avoid it. It looks like he did a really good job. Got a ball over here on his side, avoided giving up the bank. Well, avoided giving up that bank anyway. The 11 ball exists. 13 ball exists. I don't think you could bank the 13 past the 9 and still get back to your hole. The 11, though, you could. Question is what do you do with that cue ball? So that may kill that shot. Be a lot cooler if you did. Dwayne, you miss you some Mark? Or you just want me to get a lesson that bad so you don't have to feel bad taking my money again? These guys are both being pretty overly careful here not to be the first one to sell out a whole bunch of balls. And there's a whole bunch down here, so it's tricky. You know, and neither one has anything extremely threatening. But they're not really slamming the balls up table either. So it's kind of weird scenarios. Like I said, it's almost like they're both trying to keep the balls down here, and yet neither guy is really trying to shoot. Well, we're going to see a shot now.
I think it's really clever. You're really smart. And I like that you say, I'll jump as high as you want. Because that's the kind of person that I like.
So what does he try to get on other than, I don't know. To try to really get a lot of spin on this ball or a lot of action on it to get it over there to get on something. He didn't get a whole lot. Is he going to punch the 3 out? I like punching the 15 with a touch of draw and try to freeze it to the 4 ball, the low side of the 4 ball. So just in case you don't hit it good, it's just going to draw down lower. But if you could try to draw and freeze it to the low side, just under the number there, just under the white on the shadow. So he tried to get there by going off the rail. I might have hit a little pop draw on that. See what I couldn't get done. Joe's got a bank on the 9 here. He's got a bank on the 4 here. I kind of like the 9, although I don't hate the 4 at all. If you run into that string of balls, it keeps the cue ball over there pretty good for you. This one, the cue ball is going to get a little close to their corner over there. Joe hit it really nice. Looks like it'll drop for him. So does this 4-ball combo? I don't think it goes. I think it hits about halfway between the diamond and the corner pocket, so that's not probably the best opportunity. Does the 2-ball go? He's looking at it. The 13 goes, but there's a scratch there. I don't think the 8-4 is possible. I think the 6 is cock blocking that. 5-1's sitting funny to hit any kind of like a stop shot to try to get them both to your side. If they were sitting the other way, you could. But like if the 1 was closer to the rail, the 5 off it would be a little bit better, I think. So what's he going to do? Looks like we're cutting the 2. He did. He undercut it. But he got it close to his hole and put the cue ball over here. He left it off the rail. But not too bad from there. Controlling both balls. It's an easy one rail kick out, but once again, it's going to leave the same bank. So it should leave a bank on the 4 ball. Could leave a bank on the 11, but probably not. It's pretty well covered up by the 13. But it could leave a bank on the 2, depending on where he kicks the 2.
Welcome to the Shark Tank, where entrepreneurs seeking investment will face these sharks. If they hear a great idea, they'll invest their own money or fight each other for a deal. This is Shark Tank. First into the tank is a
Well, I thought he'd kick the 2 a whole lot softer than that. I didn't see that blast coming.
Our company is abs, and we are seeking $120,000. Sharks, it is time to get serious about your health. We all know the first step is eating right. So you can say goodbye to sugar. Happiness, of course. Instead, though, you can whip up a pile of nice green vegetables, 2 crisp pieces of cardboard, and then top it all off.
Oh, Dwayne, you're out of here already? Miss you, my friend. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I'm going to wear my banking shoes.
Abs protein pancakes. That's right. Get your abs while eating protein pancakes. Don't even do this.
This is 4 fluffy pancakes, which is under 250 calories, over 24 grams of protein, 100% all natural, and gluten-free. We all know that abs start in the kitchen, not in the gym, and now you can enjoy pancakes as part of a healthy nutrition program.
So, sharks, who's ready to help us?
Tony?
Tony Shahowski's in the house.
You're a product that you for that reason.
Oh, Tom's got a little combination here.
You know, that's how value this company.
Pretty reasonable to make.
I wouldn't even necessarily ask
Got another combination here.
where you're at right now.
Where did we hear this before? What did he say, Tony? How are you, sir? Yeah? Oh, yeah? How'd it go? Oh, yeah? Awesome, man. Make that money, son. Our friend Tony Shahowski in the house. Working hard. He's a hard-working man. Good father. Good family man, man. We like Tony. Like Tony a lot.
Personally, didn't like the flavor of it. I feel like I have to really.
Trying to teach him how to play a little one pocket. He's got a beautiful cue signed by Scott Frost himself. It was inspired by the Ice Pick series made by Cue Ball Custom Cues, Scott Frost sponsor. It's a sexy cue, and actually I had a cue kind of modeled after it, which I've already sold. But it was an awesome cue as well. So Tony's is ebony with blue veneers. It's just gorgeous. And it's the Ice Pick series, they called it. And it was a really, really cool cue. That's what he plays with. QB Custom Cues, good friend of ours. Cue Ball, Ken Thyman. I was just telling everybody about your cue, Tony. Yep. Yep, we like to plug Cue Ball Custom Cues in here. I'm waiting on a cue or two or seven. I'm not sure how many they're working on for me at this time. Always a few, though. I can't wait to show any of them or all of them to you guys. If these guys finish a game, I might run a commercial, show you some of the stuff I got for sale right now. But I always have about 50 JB cases on stock. And I got about 50 to 70 cues also at all times. And I can order anything new. Or I can pick it up used. If you want something specific, I can usually find it. Shouldn't say usually. I can try to find it. All the JB cases come in like I've got 2x3, 3x4, 3x6, and 4x8s. Most of them have backpack straps, which is awesome if you've ever carried one around. It is an amazing feeling on your back and your shoulders as opposed to a single strap with all that weight. Especially if you're going to decent-sized tournaments where you're holding your cues a lot. I don't know about that. Joe's getting walloped this game. Tom's going to shoot this 9 in this hole and take the game down, I think. He missed it. Gave up a bank. Joe's got a chance to get himself one. There's not a lot out there after that one. He's got a lot of bank lanes clogged up over there. Tom will be thrilled to just dump this ball for him and see if he can't leave the cue ball in the jaws. Nope. He got it out up off there for some reason. What do you think? 11 ball coming to the hole? Probably not all the way to it, but you just got to get it close. Try to get that cue ball to the land. Yeah, I don't know. If you leave it over there and he only needs one, he's likely to shoot it. So yeah, Joe did the smart thing, just punch this ball away. It wasn't time to be aggressive there, just for the chance to get really one, maybe two. But he's going to have to soon because he needs them all. So we're going to have to see something here soon. So we've got a good bank shot here. There's no kiss here. You want to try to hit down on this ball just a little bit, I think. Kind of a little below center. Definitely not just right above center. That was no bueno. I'd say Tom's 104% to make this ball. When I say make it, that includes hanging it in the pocket where he'll get it in a minute. And as we suspected, Joe's break. Tom's up 2 games. What you think, Tony? Yeah? You hungry? Yeah. I just had a couple ham sandwiches. Yeah, I'm busted. I'm working on too many projects right now. Were you playing anywhere this weekend? No? You are working Saturday? Same side job? That's awesome, man. Always got a lot of respect for you, my friend. You're hardworking, good family, man, like I said earlier. You're the American dream. Or nightmare or something like that. Yeah. Well, when do you get laid off? January, February? Oh, you're not going to this year? What? I mean, you always get laid off for like at least a month or so, don't you? Oh, yeah. I got you. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you, dude. Practice up the pool game. Yep. Find a little side job here or there. Hey, trust me, I know. I don't know how families survive. Like, that's always my first question when people tell me they're busted. I'm like, oh man, what's your second job? Well, I don't have a second job. I'm like, oh, there's your first problem. Yeah, I don't. My wife and I both have always had a main job and a second, like some other second way to try to make money, you know. And even just like right now, like I keep my kids out of daycare because I work mostly nights, you know, and then I do some stuff for my brother during the day, and we buy and sell stuff off auctions, you know, we do whatever, man. I Ubered my mom to the airport tonight. Yep. She only paid me half price, though. Yeah, I know. I'd have taken her anyway, but. Yeah, guys, so the weight, they played this way the other night. Joe's giving him 10-7. And Tom ended up 4 games. But Joe scratched on his money ball one game when Tom still needed a few. And it wasn't, it was bad. You know, another game, I think Tom needed, several balls, and Joe lost. I mean, so this game, it was close the other night. I do think Tom's got the upper hand, but it's closer than what it looks like right now. Joe doesn't seem... I don't know. He doesn't seem 1,000% comfortable. What'd you say? I don't know, but not much. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's not the money. I don't think that's bothering him. One of the things I used to always, love about the UFC, especially when it first came out, was the whole idea is matching up all the different styles and seeing which style was the best fighting. Well, now all these guys are so well-rounded. They're all everything, I mean, occasionally you have a guy that's got a specialty in wrestling or a specialty in striking or a specialty in taekwondo or jiu-jitsu or whatever, but they're all pretty well-rounded assholes. And so in pool, this is kind of a classic mover versus shooter, they call it. Tom's going to be a mover, and he moves good, and that's kind of Joe's kryptonite, Joe's a shooter, man, but, if you don't... you don't get anything to shoot, man. It's tough to shoot. Kind of like it's like the Cardinals facing Strasburg and Scherzer and Corbin and Sanchez. This guy's throwing fucking wiffle balls 99 miles an hour at us. Tough to hit, especially when you're a bad hitter. Paul Goldschmidt's a great hitter. Ozuna's a good hitter. He's a good hitter. Oh, the whole team, yeah. Breaking balls are brutal. Yeah. Yep, they were bad. So good or bad, we basically have the exact same team next year, barring Mosaic making a major league trade. Because, I mean, all the positions are not only set, but they're set with the backup already set, you know? Like, I mean, Carpenter and Edmond are going to be on the team unless they're traded. And those guys play, you know, I don't think they could trade Fowler without paying about 8 million each year of his salary. You know, I like Bader, but we've seen this before. He's exactly like, I shouldn't say exactly, but he's extremely like Randall Grichuk and Peter Borges. They're all sub 230 hitters with decent power and play all the outfield positions, and they have good speed. But they're all basically just guys, really, when it comes down to it. You know, I mean, Bader's defense is better than Peter Borges's ever was. But it's not that much better than Randall Grichuk's was. Randall Grichuk was a hell of an outfielder, really. And he was a good base runner, and he had 30 home run power. You know, Bader, like, theoretically has 20 home run power. Grichuk realistically had 30 home run power, you know. Bader's, you know, I don't know. I really love the guy. I absolutely love the guy. And I think he's an incredible fourth outfielder maybe to have, especially when you are talking about playing all the positions, being a defensive replacement, and the speed you get off the base paths. And I don't think he's a terrible hitter where you know, no. But, you know, but I like the kid a lot. But like I said, he's just a guy, to be honest. Now, Tyler O'Neill, if you could blend O'Neill and Bader, man, you'd have a ball player there. Just imagine if you could blend those two guys. Which actually, you know, if Tyler O'Neill could cut out the strikeout rates and start hitting 250, man, he'd be a ball player. But we'll see. I think Tyler O'Neill could do it. He's shown long enough flashes of it for me that I like to see it. I don't know, but he's got a lot more upside, you know. I'm not going to even reference your Molina talking about a Hall of Famer that he's overrated. Huh? Somebody said that Yachty's the most overrated player in sports. No, he's not the greatest catcher of all time. He's not even really the greatest catcher of the last 20, 30 years. Pudge Rodriguez. Yeah. There's a bunch of them. Yachty's awesome, though. Yachty, 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 yachty. Hall of Fame, or would you like to wager? Hall of Fame, or would you like to wager? Don't be scared, homie. He'll be in. Well, no, you got to wait 5 years. I don't know if he'll get in the first. It depends on who else he comes, you know, who else is out with them that year. He could take. I think he could take a short time to get in, but I don't think it'll be very long. But I think it just depends on who else is out. And there's a lot of factors in there. Russell Martin. Like I said, man, it depends on it's real strange because of how many they vote in every year now, and sometimes there could be guys that just have to wait, you know, and that are ahead of him. And Yachty's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, I don't think. I could be wrong about that, but it also depends on when like I said, he might play, you know, 2 or 3 more years even. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays 2 or 3 more years. I think it's like the 26th or something, Tony. So I think it'd be like 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, it's not next week. Not this weekend. It's next.
I think it's Russell Martin. What? How do you? What about Russell Martin makes you think he was ever a better player than Yachty? I don't understand like where you would come up with that, but I don't know Russell Martin all that well. I just can't imagine that he comes close to Yachty in hardly anything. He might have a little more power or something, man, but be a little better hitter, I guess you could call him, but I don't even know about that.
Extreme Sandbox is a heavy equipment adventure company that lets clients play on construction equipment. Yes, you want to come to drive an excavator or bulldozer for fun. With our supersized 10-acre sandbox, we provide our clients a truly unique, once-in-a-lifetime, bucket-list experience. Sharks live a brand redefining the way entertainment is experienced. So who's ready to pick up some gold with Extreme Sandbox? Absolutely. Car crushing, called the destruction zone. Come out and demolish. Oh, it's so much fun. How much is it, Ray? I would say our average consumer pays about $300. It's a once in a lifetime get to get experience. $400 gets you a car crush. So what's your sales? We've done $1 million in sales in 3 years.
Joe's going to have a chance to take a game down here. He's got himself jerked off over the 5-ball, the old Chinese snooker. A little poke and hope down on the ball. See if he can't guide it in the hoe. He wasn't able to. Tittied it, gave it a rim job, bounced it out. So Tom can shoot the stretched out spot shot with some draw and try to kick cross the 5 over to his side. Tom can just kick the 5 out. Tom can cut the 12 in, playing position on the spot ball, which is the way to get the most balls. So I think that's what he's going to go for in the position that he's in. Joe needs 2 before he gets 4. So I think it's reasonable for him to go ahead and go for this 12 ball. Oh, no, he's going to play the little safer route. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to go for this make the spot shot and kick cross the 5 ball out of there. And he achieved 1, not the other. Oh, you need 1? Oh, all right, I'm sorry. Joe wanted to remind me that he needed 1, not 2. I apologized. Well, I think he's going to thin slice this 5 towards this hole, run the cue ball table. He's looking at the 12 ball. I don't like this. There is a side pocket up there. Yeah. He needed a little bit more on it than that. I think Tom's going to bank this 12 ball, straight high ball, and run the cue ball right up around between the middle and right diamond on the end rail. And then maybe play position on the 14. He could cross this 5 ball, but it's going to leave something open for Joe to bank. I thought you did. Joe just came back to tell me I was correct, and he did need 2 balls. Oh, brother. I remember one time, I thought I was wrong. Turned out I was actually right. All right, Joe's got a bank on the 5 if he wants it. He needs dose. I'm not saying I would shoot it, just saying he's got one. I'm not joking, I'd shoot it. I kind of shoot this ball with like maybe just straight low or a touch of low left. Probably not much left though, and trying to bring the cue ball back where that chalk is on his side of the table, leaving his opponent very long and straight in, with hopefully a ball over near your hole. This bank shouldn't be very hard to get close to your hole. You could also play it with just below center and trying to run into like that 14. I just don't like that because you might give up a little short shot. That way's okay too, except what I don't like about it is if you didn't hit it good, man, you're going to give up some short shots at your opponent's hole and possibly multiple balls. And, you know, but he hit it really well, so he doesn't have to worry about any of that. Tom's going to have to go ahead and go to the end rail and spin kick this 5 out. Question is going to be is where does the cue ball end up? So it's going to want to spit out towards the spot, I think. If he hits it the way I think he's going to. That's just my guess. Let's see what he does. I like commentating on one pocket a little bit more. I have a freaking clue what's going on. 9 ball, the only thing that saves me is there's only one friggin' ball a guy could hit, so I can't fuck it up too bad, but one pocket, there's so many damn shots and so many ways to hit stuff. It can get nuts, and I don't know what's going on here. I have no clue what we're doing here. I can't believe he's shooting this ball. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Joe plays too good. You can't give him that shot. It worked out, but yeah, I don't know. If I'm Joe, I'm just going to fire this 14 into that ball, put the cue ball straight high ball and get it down table, and just fight him out for these last 3. Now, if you feel real comfortable crossing this ball, you can do it, man. But Tom banks good and plays good, and yeah, that's no good, man. That's why I didn't like that shot right there. So he literally might have just gave up the game on that shot right there. Tom just goes rail first, pockets this ball, gets a bank shot on the 14. He's going to make that, leaving himself a bank on the 3 or the 1, getting it really close to his hole with a natural trap set with the other one sitting there. And whether or not Joe goes to kick the ball out or move the bank shot, either way, despite the fact that Tom needs more balls here, he has a big advantage right now. And he's just good enough a player to keep the advantage. I don't understand this one, man. If you miss this ball, you lose the game. You don't have to shoot this ball. You just don't have to. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. It just cost him the game. I mean, it was just the wrong shot. Yeah. I mean, it was just sitting fat for him. I don't know. It was just the wrong shot. So, yeah, so we're going to go to another game. Joe moved back to Tom up 1. And see what happens. I mean, I understand, you know, that he needed them all, but there was just the chess pattern was all set. It was game, set, match, pretty much. I mean, and it was almost like what they say in 9 ball. It was almost a what do they call it?
Yeah, you can't really slow roll that very easily. It's pretty much straight in too.
Say 9 ball was a road map. He had a road map ready to go right there. Just had to follow it. Chip that ball in, make that bank. The bank was going to be a gimme. I mean, I can't miss her. You know, and then the next bank after that wasn't going to be that challenging either. You know, and then shoot, you might even get straight in on the next one. Who knows? But man, I think that was a pretty bad mistake. So anyway, it'll be Tom's break. Yeah. It was nice to see you, Tony, my friend. You gonna come up tomorrow night and mess around? What? Oh, yeah. Well, we'll be here next time you're around. So Tom putting the cue ball only 1 ball off the rail, utilizing, looks like a high inside spin still right between the balls, and it produced a no good break. I generally put the ball off the rail a little farther there. Farther than that. I believe you're correct. Joe hit a nice shot. Put the 10 ball over nearest hole. All right. See you, buddy. So let's see here. This is always an interesting shot here. There's not a ton of rail to work with, and it can be a tricky little tester here. Let's see how he hits it. I think it'll be a double kiss with some like low left and just not real super hard, trying not to let this cue ball go. He was able to control it really nicely though. He didn't get what he was looking for, but he hit it good and controlled the cue ball nicely. Joe's got a cross bank on the 7, and he could put the cue ball just up there by the 4. He's got to be real careful not to sell out that 2 ball. Like, I think it'd be better if he could run in, oh yeah, up there like that. He was able to. I knew he could get it up there near the 2 or 4. I just wasn't sure how safe he could get. He was able to get real safe over here. And now he's got, man, a really good chance to get the 10, 14, and 5. The 8-3 might be playable. You know, it very well might be. And so from here, he might even be able to get over here and get the 15 next. Nope, came up short, but he's got the 9, and he's got a huge wall to play behind. So this one, I play more cue ball, way more cue ball. I'm cutting this with high inside English, a little overcut, hitting it kind of thin, and trying to park the cue ball behind those balls. He came out real well here, but I don't think it was the best thing. He left his balls open and risked giving them all up for you. What do you say, dog? Daniel Otto in the house. So now we got, like I said, if he parks that ball behind those balls, man, he puts Tom in a really difficult position of having to kick at those balls or swing at something at his hole. Or, he puts him in a nasty spot right now. He's got one clear, or 2 clear-cut kind of options. He's either going to give up the 9 ball by shooting it straight in the hole, or he's going to shoot the 5 ball into the 9 ball, trying to knock them both out. And then you can draw the cue ball, kind of just a little stop shot. Maybe it stays behind those balls. So he liked to give it up and play the titty. He left Joe a bank on the 5, but it's difficult. Very difficult to hit well. Oftentimes, players of my caliber it's one of the few times we're able to shoot the ball in the hole, and we often will shoot it directly in that hole up there, as opposed to banking it back to our hole. It's one of the few shots a C player can make often. Tom went for an aggressive shot, and he sold out. So Joe has got a shot, some high left run in English. Get this cue ball to run around 1, 2, 3 rails maybe for the 15. I don't know. It might be just as simple just to play for the bank on the 15, not even try to run. Oh, he went the other way. All right. So he's playing for the 5 ball maybe? Or is he playing for this 12-4 combo? I don't think that even goes. The 6 ball might go. Man, that was dangerous running over there. I mean, it was a... Man. Another cock and fire, not worrying about the 9 balls in front of him that all go to his 10 balls. I'm sorry, 10 balls in front of him that all go to his opponent's hole in some form or other. So what do you give up? Does the 10 ball go? Can he bank the 10 into the 14-4? Put the cue ball under the 15? Can he bank the 2 ball? Oh, the 3 railer on the 11, running the cue ball up table. I kind of like that one. He's way behind on balls. I don't know that I like this one. That ball goes to his hole. It's the easiest ball that goes to his hole. That's what there's the shot I was just talking about. You oftentimes throw that ball straight to that hole over there as opposed to banking it because you're just going to be drawn there. It's just where it happens all the time. Yeah, Joe tried to cut that little 6 ball and wasn't able to get too far with it. Tom needs to get some stuff going to his side here. The 6 ball is not a real attractive bank because it's difficult to get the cue ball out of the way, I think. Can you see the whole 14 ball? If he can, that's sexy, but I don't think he can. Can we hit the, how about the bank on the 2 with a lot of inside English and kill a cue ball over there? That's a sexy little play to me because you don't even have to hit it great. You just have to kill the cue ball is the most important part. But if he can see this hole 14, then this ball actually goes to his hole. And just roll the cue ball straight top past the 1 ball, like so. Yeah, but he overcooked it a little bit. Gave up another bank to Joe. I think this ball will go, but man, it's tight. And the problem is if it doesn't go, it could give up a bank. But he made it. But if it goes off the 6 there, you give up a bank right there. And then he gets behind all those balls. So that's what the problem was with that. We got here out a 4-railer on the 6. That could look awful cool. Well, he set himself up a bank, trying to set a trap here. Trying to set a little bear trap here. Not really one that Tom's going to worry too much about. He's just going to go ahead and try to pocket this 13. He needs some balls, and they're all sitting here ready to go for him. If he can pocket this 13, which looks like a very reasonable bank to pocket, then he will be able to get himself a couple. However, he poodle-dicked it, hit it high, and Joe's going to have the opportunity. What about banking the 12? Putting the cue ball by the 2? Oh, he picked off the 8 ball there. Made it. He's got 7. There's the 1 and there's the 4. Joe's going to tie this set up at 2-2. And it'll be Joe's break, I think. I forget. I don't know whose break it is. I think that's all Joe needed.
Your break? Yeah.
Yep, so Joe's break. I'm going to take a break myself, but I'll be right back, guys. So I'm going to spin a commercial here for you. Please take a look at some of the stuff I got and let me know if you're ever interested in anything or if you know anybody that's interested in stuff. And remember, I can get anything you need too. So I've got some Predator break cues, some Predator shooting cues. Those are McDermott Luckies. I can get for $50 to $65 in all those colors. Great for Christmas presents for beginners. These cases are all about $250. I've gotten a lot of sizes. They run $225 to $265. But they all have backpack straps, which are awesome. I got those nice 2 leather Delta cases right there that are only $150 a piece, $140 a piece. I got some knickknacks and tools and things you could use for different reasons. And, like I said, I always have new stuff coming in and new stuff going out. I also have Revo shafts for those of you who's looking for Revo shafts. If you haven't played with one, they're incredible. If you'd like to try one, you can come on up and try mine. Yeah, come on up here. You can try some stuff out, find out what you like, find out what you need. And get you back here. So Joe just broke. Put a nice one down. He's got the 3 ball 4 inches from the hole. Tom can soft kick at it, which I think might be the play. There are some double up situations if he feels like being really aggressive. Like he could bank the 4 into the 5 and leave the cue ball at the top of the stack as an aggressive shot. He could, play off that 9 somehow, but I don't see why. I like the soft kick at the 3. Tom just complimented it and said good break. I like either, if the angle's there to bury the cue ball at the top of the stack, I like the 4 off the 5. The 4-5 combo. If the angle's not there for anything good to happen, then I like the soft kick at the 3. Now here's one more shot. So if you can see the right side of that 12 ball where you can bank it across the table while putting the cue ball between the 5, 3, and then down to the end rail, I like that. I'm not in love with this because I think Joe has got a bunch of options, and I think they're pretty good ones. So I don't even mind shooting the 9-3 right here because there's nothing that'll go to Tom's hole real easily. So I think he can just shoot this 9-3 pretty. Man, it's not that hard. He needed to hit kind of a stop shot, but it was with, as little a speed and most stroke as possible, getting that ball just to travel down there and sit in front of the hole. Now, while he didn't give up any great shot to Tom, he's got no threat at his hole anymore. I mean, there's no threat anymore. The 5 ball's a foot, 12, 13 inches away. The 9 ball's even further. And while Tom probably doesn't have any great shot, he's got a 2-14 combo where he might also be able to bury the cue ball. He looks like he can see the 14 ball and actually make it. And if that's the case, he's given up 3 balls here at least. Yeah, he could. That's bad news. He's not giving up 3. So maybe it's just going to be 2. But either way, gave it up. Not in a good way.
Our daughter loves her new Honda, so I'm here to look at the Accord.
Excellent. With the Accord LX, you get more standard features, including a turbocharged engine, LED headlights, and our full suite of 5 Honda sensing safety and driver assist technologies.
That settles it. I'll take it. Thank you, honey.
You're gonna share, right? The Accord, the only sedan to consider. Come in for a test drive today.
Not every journey has an end. Here's to the next 100 years of innovation. Bringing the 2019 BMW X3 Ride.
No, don't do that.
Next up is a firefighter, a solution to prevent kitchen fires.
My name is Peter Thorpe. I am the creator and founder of Firebird. I am seeking $300,000 for a 7%. I'm a firefighter and an entrepreneur. Sharks. Every 4.5 minutes, firefighters just like me respond to a home fire because somebody forgot about the food cooking on the stove. That's why I created Firebird. Fire cover is a simple device that
Shoot.
you simply plug your stove into Firebird to the wall, and it's ready to go. When the
Oh, yeah. You know what? Because I said you were going to get 3, and then you got 2. Yep. That's right.
What'd you get, 2? Yeah.
Let me demonstrate this for you now. The Firebird, you'll hear the sound of your smoke alarm and turn off the stove before there was any fire. So sharks, who wants to protect property and save lives with Firebird? It's very interesting. Reverse.
you're really small, you gotta hang on to as much equity as long as you can. I like that, 5%, 7%, just not that
They could
interesting.
offer, tell me what you guys think would be worth for you guys getting up and being part of this company. I believe this product, I feel that this is gonna be every home customer.
We all believe in this, we just, it's not a question about the product.
Yeah.
The product is nothing to do with it. We all like the product. I mean,
So
how about
what
this,
don't make
Peter,
sense
how about
is
this
there-
deal, how about this deal? I buy out your friend 60% for 300,000 and give you 51% voting control. He's gone, I'll be the 60% guy.
CNBC premiere episode next. Jaylen's Garage. CNBC.
When I think of what my imagination looks like, the surface is a tool that helps you realize beautiful ideas.
Almost looking at them.
What's that?
I said I almost hit them ball.
Perfect. For this, for that price? Absolutely. What is this? Some kind of fabricator? It's right. Book yours just right, Rachel. At Thrifty.com.
To figure out where to shoot it, I guess. I hate being short.
Dylan used ZipRecruiter. He posted his job, ZipRecruiter sent it to over 100 top job sites, and matched his job with qualified candidates. We were very impressed with how quickly we had quality candidates applying for ZipRecruiter. It's very important that we choose the right people, and ZipRecruiter's been able to help us do that. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/.
Yep, I found it. Brandon, if I foul and make his ball, does that mean his ball spots too?
Well, he double hit with his tip, so he was in stroke, and as he hit it once, he hit it twice with his tip.
But I was trying to slow the ball and I hit it really hesitant, hit it twice.
Ball in it.
It's gonna ball in.
What ball?
I got one in his jaws.
Yeah.
But if he's, like at the end of the game, make his ball and foul. Pops up.
Look it up. What does it say about Derby City rules?
I'm not sure I want to answer this question.
Why?
I think Derby, it does explain it though. Like on the website, if you look at the Derby website, it'll tell you.
Well, because there's two things to this. There's a way to intentionally do what you did to make a ball spot. Pull that ball.
No, I didn't do that.
I know that. I'm just telling you there is though, and people do it, and that's why I think that.
Well, I mean,
Like
it's the
Joe
same
can-
as following his ball in. I could have just followed it in.
I understand that, but if you double hit the ball like that, Joe can just not call a foul.
But he did, and I said I did. I agreed. Okay.
But Joe,
And I owe one too, right?
but you could have just said, I didn't see any foul. There's no foul. Then you
Yeah.
get to keep your ball.
Okay.
I don't
I
know.
didn't do it on purpose.
No, I know.
I just got.
Have you seen the Mark O'Brien one? I'm sure you guys know this.
What's this deal? I buy out your friend 60%,
So you-
300,000 and give you 51% voting control.
Your opponent needs one, like say you can't knock it in, so you touch the ball with your cue, and then you touch your cue again.
60%, I don't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was curious. I've never actually had that happen. Be hard to follow that one up.
Jeff, this is Mark Cuban. I'm here with Peter. Say hi, Peter. The question that we all had was, with Peter only having 30% left, it made it a little bit difficult for us to invest because he'd be diluted, and we were concerned with the amount of equity he had after the deal. Would you be willing to sell any of your equity directly as part of this deal, so that the money went to you, so that Peter would be able to retain his equity? Really, what it's come down to, Kevin and Robert are looking at $50. Kevin's offer was $300,000 to buy your equity directly, and the second option was for Robert, he'd give $400,000. I'm gonna let you talk to Peter and let you guys figure it out and decide if you want to come or not. Thank you.
I think it is great that they want to offer $300,000. We're going with the right line, how to do a dumb deal.
Because they want to sell the position. That's what they're discussing.
Okay, Peter, before you start, just
Yours, right?
summarize so I'm clear on the situation with Jeff. We gave you $50,000, you got 60% of the company, those are the facts. How about his position? The entire 60%. Is he interested?
Jeff said he will not. We want to move equally. So he's not opposed to diluting, but he won't sell any of his shares directly.
Yes. Zero interest in that?
Yeah, we're gonna do,
If that's the case,
Jody's gonna do all the.
Lori, I wish you were still in because I think we can sell bonds on QVC. There is a huge market out there for people buying these for their parents. My full-time cost right now is $45. I ain't no back. We can sell this retail for $99.
What are you offering me? You came back in here and you looked at me. That's your offering me. I can
Yeah, we gotta get it done.
I cannot break tonight either.
You're opening another new one?
this way.
Where?
This is based on that you get
Really?
the price now. I would go 300,000 alone,
Huh,
5%
that's cool.
interest. Just give me
You wanna come in, Jody, we'll call it Fast Jody's.
paid back.
Okay.
And then,
Called it the hustle
when I
and
got
got,
back my
HG.
300,000.
It's called
then I
Fast
got
Jody's.
12%.
Fastest
Take
Jody's.
that off. Big way. I'll give you the $300,000 also as a loan. 10% royalty. Take back.
Get that old daddy here. Pull off the check.
Goes away.
Giddy up. Joe's rocking it out over here. I think that coin's on his side. I don't know what's going on. Tom's slipping. Tough shot there. Joe's going to have a tough time getting out of this one. I like that 11-1 bank combo freeze to Q. That looks awful sexy, freezing it right there on the 9 ball. Man, that ball looks good.
Still means everything to my family, and even with that much equity, I still stand behind
Boy, he didn't do bad with that at all. I wouldn't be mad at him at all if he was on my team. Now, I may have given up a bank on this 14. It's a long way to force the cue ball out on the 2 ball. I'm not saying he can't do it, but man, it's a long way. Now, if I was going to do that, I'd just thin the 2 ball and try to bring the cue ball back to where you would have, like where you did if you broke. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I were to hit a break shot, I'd want my cue ball between that second and third diamond on the side rail. So I'd thin the 2 ball, putting it over there. But if he can bank this 14, man, I don't know. I don't think he gave up a shot. I don't think that 15 goes. But if it does, man, Joe may shoot it. What does he got here? What does he got here? I don't like any of this. It's just not real sexy. You know, those balls are just laying funny. I sure wouldn't want to be trying to shoot out of this, but I think you got to take a chance on moving some of these balls somehow. I'm just not sure exactly how to do it. You certainly don't like 3 balls sitting here in front of your opponent's hole. Yeah, I didn't like that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of ways that you could move those balls. That certainly was not one of them, and that probably cost him the game, to be honest with you, the way these balls are lying. And I'm not saying that Tom's going to run out from right here. I'm just saying that Joe's never going to get back in this game. And it's what's so important from here is to make sure that happens no matter what. You know, so you hear me talk about humility of players and humbleness and this and that. So I'm shooting the 2 ball here. I'm sorry, not the 2 ball, the 8 ball here, and then the 2 ball. But no matter what, when I finish my run, I'm putting him buried behind that row of balls up there. I mean, there's without a doubt where he's going to be. And I'm just hitting straight top on this. I don't know what I'm loading up for. So he got himself 1, and that's all he's going to get. I don't think he's going to cut the 2 in here, even if he can. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he likes any of this. I don't like the shot selection. I don't think there was a lot good that could have came out of it. This should get close to the hole, but what's he going to give up? Yeah, I don't. He gave up a bank. That's why I didn't see how he wasn't giving up something. I didn't think it was going to go. Definitely playing a little different tonight. Joe's got a good bank to his hole. He drilled it. And let this dog run wild. He's off the rail just enough he could put a little draw on the 6 ball if he chooses. He could also run through the 12 if he chose to draw. Don't think he has the angle to draw into anything here. So he may just have to settle for the bank on the 2. I just don't know that he's... Oh, no, he's the way he looks at the angle, he can get up table. So, yeah, he's going up table. I still might have played for the bank on the 2. See, this is... This is what I was saying earlier in that game, you know, that I'm just pocketing that 8 ball, and then I'm defending no matter what, my ability to leave him up behind that stack at the end of that run out no matter what. No matter what, that had to be the end outcome. And letting the cue ball go like that, to me, was just a, you know, there's just no reason for it. I think maybe he thought he could get a bunch of balls by spinning into that stack like that. And I don't know, it seemed like a free-for-all to me as opposed to a, kind of like breaking and just smashing them as opposed to a technical break and trying to make the wing ball and the 1 ball.
What have you experienced in just saying?
All right, let's see if he can cross the 3 off the 6 into his hole. That's what he's looking at. I don't know. He's hitting it so slow to try to drag it across without pulling it and without letting the cue ball go, and he did really well. Really, really, really well. So Joe, I don't think he's slicing this 1 ball to his hole. He's looking at a bank, or no, just a soft little play off that ball. He did okay. You know, Might have gave up a bank on this 3 ball, but Tom's going to have to let the cue ball go. Looks like he could hit the 11, but I don't know what good that does him. I think he can play the 15, but once again, I don't know where he can put the cue ball. It's in a little bit of a weird spot. Wow, and he slid through a little tiny hole. All right, there's some double ups here. There's a free bank on the 1, and I'm pretty sure Joe's not going to shoot it. He's not even looking at it. He didn't look around the table at all. He just picked the wrong shot, fired away, and hit it pretty well. But nonetheless, he gave up a free bank on the 1 ball. Just a complete free bank. With a chance to get more, by the way. Ignored the double up situation. And that whole... so he basically had from almost like where that chalk is on the end rail, all the way in a V, all the way up to the 13 ball and over to the side pocket of where he could have almost left that cue ball. There was a big area, man. Missed out. And see if Tom can make him pay. Settled for a very easy shot protecting the 3 ball. Joe still has a bank on the 1 ball. Big fat bank on the 1 ball. Not even looking at it. Just giving up the easy bank again. So Tom is going to bank the 6 ball or the 3 ball. Whichever one he likes. I like the 3 ball, I think. But man, that angle looks like it could be just tough. Like where you have to cross it, but with like left English almost to kill the cue ball when it hits that end rail. It's like straight high ball almost. Maybe even, I don't know. It's tough though. It's a weird angle. 6 ball though, where you run into the 14. And if you draw out of that, you give up the 7 if it doesn't go. So he's got some problems. But the 3 ball, I think there would be several ways to bank this ball. Even if you could even just poke down on it and get yourself a little draw action. And then from there, you can bank the 6 ball and just draw past the 13 for your protection, not giving up the 7. He unloaded on it, and he hung it. But he gave up that shot, like I said. So I didn't know how he could shoot it. He tried to, but he ran right into the 5 ball. So he did really well. If he pockets that ball, he's getting a couple. But now, is he going to get away with only giving up 1, or is Joe getting into the stack? Joe got into the stack a little bit. Does he get a shot? I think he's got a shot at the 3 ball. See, now for me personally, I mean, I'm not a shooter, you know, so this is, I'm sweating this one. Joe's not. He's just shooting that ball, you know, and the same thing on this 1 ball. He's not going to be sweating it at all. He's going to line it up. He's going to shoot it. And is he going to try to go into the stack again? Is he going to try to rub the stack again? Well, he hung that one. Did he drop the 6? No, he sure didn't. So he got him a couple balls. How many did he give up? Is Tom going to try to spin behind the 4? Or really get after it and get up on the 2 ball, which is what I would do. It's the most guaranteed shot. Does the 9-14 have a way to go? It's awfully close. What about banking the 4 ball right now into the 6? I like that shot quite a bit. You bank the 4 into the 6. Tom banks real good. I'd say he's 108% chance to make the 6 from there and get several balls from there. This way, there's some ways you can only get 2 balls from here. You know, he could hang this ball and get 1 ball from there. Now, banking that 4 ball, he could get none. But the way the balls are sitting, he's not going to give up many either. If anything, he just give up that 1 ball. So he might have gotten 4 or 5, I think. Now he undercut this and he gave it up. So let's see if Joe can make him pay. 14 exists. Is he really going to be able to play position over there? From the pocket, he got the Spanglish. He made it clean, so he's got the 14. And what can he do after that? I think he's got the angle to run into the 9 ball. But I don't know that it opens it up enough to get a shot. It may rub the inside of the 9 ball and open it up, but not enough to give him a shot. He may have to settle for the bank at the 2, which is not sexy looking when the 4 is sitting in front of the hoe. He's looking around. He's got a 4-ball to 2-ball lead. This is going to make it 5-2. Well, he's really struggling with the what to do after this, which is good. He's taking his time. He's looking. In the last, he's had some opportunities earlier where he's just not even looking, just flat out shooting the first thing that comes to his mind. I like living by the old Scott Frost theory of 9 times out of 10 your initial reaction is going to be correct. Your gut instinct. He goes, but no matter what, when you your first shot you see, you should go find 5 more shots. And then ultimately you're going to go back to the one you first saw because you're a good player and you're a smart player and you've seen this game before. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't go look. And then you should reread the stack every shot too. Because from different spots on the table, balls are different. They go from different spots and different angles, different ways. And sometimes you just see it differently. So you should always reread the stack. And reread the whole table. Sometimes their balls are dead off balls after a shot and you just don't see it because you never walked around to look at it. Sometimes it just opens up. Oh. Yikes. That was a quick draw McGraw, bad idea shot. I'll give you a little idea what I'm talking about here. Look at the view from this. And then the view from here. From here, that 4-ball looks unmissable. The other angle, you see Tom sitting jacked up backwards, and he's not going to miss this ball probably. But did he get on anything? No. I don't like this view. This view makes me feel drunk, and I'm not. I'm going back. Well, it's not in any real danger. He might go ahead and decide to shoot this 2-railer on the 5 at some point. He's not looking at it at all. But it's sitting there, and you can hit it with draw, leaving no great shot other than the cut on the 11. Now, the only problem is the 11 ball might be blocking that ball from ever going. Did he get a rail here? Yes, he did. He got a rail, but he gave up a bank on the 11. If Joe so chooses. It's a tough shot, and I probably saw it at the 15. The smart play, the easy play, is just punch the 2 ball, and I'd put it right up there with some inside English, try to get to land on the 15. Yeah, kind of like right there. Cover them balls up, tie them up, jerk them up, move them, do something with them. Blocking the bank alleys all from Tom. Those 2 balls are sitting there nicely by the side pocket. The problem is it prevents you from going up table unless you tie those balls up. So I always like to get a ball in front of my opponent's side pocket early in the game to try to prevent a lot of those straight backs from happening. But then I also try to tie that ball up later in the game to enable myself to go up table with the cue ball when I need to. 2 real simple moves. Tom's taking a long, sturdy look at the table here. Here's one of these weird shots where you're not really trying to do anything. and then you scratch on it. It's the most frustrating thing in the world because you weren't trying to actually do anything. And now here's another thing. You're like, he's not actually trying to do anything there, per se. And so I still always try to leave the cue ball on a rail at least. Take away every option other than what English he can hit on the ball. And that to me is another key. You always want to finish on a rail. Not do a rail and then finish on her. Ooh, he got it by there. Slippy slide in the hole. No. This table's cloth is right in the middle of its life cycle. So we're not going to have any balls sliding in too easily today. Table's getting kind of fun to play on finally again. We got the table reclothed, I think, in July. I think, maybe. That ball only goes when you're trying to bank it to the other hole. That's when you shoot it in the hole. When you're trying to shoot it in the hole, it banks out. That's a rule. Huh. Well, let's see if he finally takes one of these bank shots. I believe that he might. Careful of the scratch over here. So if he's playing the 15, he's running into the 14, but banking the ball poorly. So Texas Tom's got a cross out. He could try to cross this ball to his hole. It's sitting a little funny for that. He could bank the 11 to his hole, but then you're going to let Joe back cut the 15. Dwayne, I promise you one thing. We're going to get you on that table and take your money tomorrow. So don't you worry about it. I got you a partner. I got us a partner. Don't worry about it. I got us a game. You just bring plenty of money and don't worry about it. I'll set up everything. Thursday nights are always fun. Dwayne Paul Spears in his house. Usually Mr. Perky comes over on Thursday nights. AJ, our good friend, comes over. Dan Otto might make an appearance or two. Not sure what Snotty Grass has going on. Come and get it, sunshine. I told you I got a ringer waiting for you, Dwayne. One way or the other, I'm taking down the money tomorrow. I'm flying a kid in from South Dakota. He doesn't hear too good, so we don't have to listen to your bullshit.
Cue ball got the rip.
Not worth $4 million.
What I would say is, and I described how we got to our valuations in the beginning, right?
Jerry Belovich, come on over and learn how to play some one pocket. I'll teach you some cheap lessons.
Let me ask you, Mark, what do you think?
We teach you for 50 a game, and I don't mean I'm going to play you for it. I just mean you're going to pay me 50 a game. You shoot too straight. I'm just kidding, Dwayne. I might let my little girl come down here and play. Let her snap you off. JB, you're out of my range, buddy. You're gonna have to come play Ryan or somebody. I can't beat anybody. I've lost my last 19 times playing. I'm semi-retired. I'm not gonna be everybody's sucker anymore. I'm gonna stick to cleaning the bathroom and the tables and let everybody else play pool. I'm gonna sell cases and T-shirts. Till I can learn how to make 3 balls in a row again. I got a guy looks just like me though. He wants to play and he wants to bet high. He don't look just like me, but he looks enough like me. We always got somebody. There's always somebody bigger, better, badder. Got more gamble, got more heart. You guys all know how we do it down here, though. If you're looking for a game, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to find you. Jerry, you can come over and probably play Joe. Joe will probably play on a bar box, or we got all kinds of guys that'll play some pool. I don't know that Ryan could even beat you on a bar box. Didn't you guys play once already? Or didn't I forget what happened? We got other guys that'll play though. Oh, I made it.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
I think Joe's got a 2-game lead and he's breaking. So he's doing something right. What'd you say? I will do, dude. All right. I'll be here. Huh? All right, dog, we'll do. I'll holler at you tomorrow or Friday. What? We're walking through tomorrow. We're going to work probably Saturday or Sunday. I just don't know. I got to talk to them first. I'll let you know the second I know. We got a good little break by Joe. He put a couple balls over by his hole, although they don't go really, except for maybe from this end rail. They're over there, though, which is always a good thing. No real huge danger for the escape. I see a 13-2 bank while freezing the cue ball right there. I see a 3-ball bank, but I'm not in love with that. I like the 13-2 bank if you can freeze the cue ball real nicely and just hitting it real nice and smooth without having to do anything. I guess you could come off this 12 ball and try to put the cue ball behind the 9-5, but you risk giving up several banks if you don't get it there. What else do you guys see? Soft kick at the 9 ball and try to put the cue ball right behind the 5. It's a little dangerous. Once again, you can give up some banks. Give up a lot of banks, actually. Plus, you're going to separate those 2 balls that don't really go. So I don't like that. I think I like the 13-2 bank. Freeze the cue ball right there. As long as the 13's cutting the 2 enough to not bank it into the 12. If it's going to hit the 12 ball, it's going to release the cue ball, which is not what you want to have happen. So Got to check that portion of it out too. Played Jody and Ryan Hopping. Yeah, like I said, we got guys you can play. I'm not one of them. Well, we got guys you can play. Let me know whenever you want to come over. I'll try to arrange you a match. Unfortunately, in this world, not everybody's perfectly matched, and sometimes spots are needed, warranted, or wanted. Sometimes they're asked for and not needed. Sometimes they're offered and not desired.
Disrupting a category that hasn't changed in centuries. Sweetie, you literally re-engineered the broom and the dustpan from the bristles up, making for a more efficient.
All right, I'm not sure. We might be on a short player break. I'll be right back, my friends.
Use an old broom and a dustpan. It requires 2 hands and a side-by-side motion. Use the pan. Strain on your back and your knees, and we all know what it takes to get that last pesky line of debris. Well, no more. The wisp is intentionally lightweight to be used with one hand and fully in motion. The bristles are short, dense, and 90 degrees to the floor.
Linden Salt.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo. Diggity dog. Hot diggity dog.
Luckier than a 3-dick dog.
Think I've been lucky? Or do you think I'm playing good?
Huh?
Think I've been lucky or do you think I'm playing good?
You're playing good. Making some mistakes.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I've been playing good too.
Playing better. Running ball's good.
Yeah.
So once or twice you've
Shot your very first shot. All right.
I made all kinds of predictions now.
Yeah.
Yep.
About the game?
About his next shot.
Did you talk about it on stream?
Yes.
People agree with you?
No, nobody said anything. Giddy up, 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 up. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. No. Sorry, buddy. Like I said, man, I'm not going to be everybody's sucker anymore. You and I are way off in skill levels, pal. But like I said, man, we got all kinds of guys you can play. So there's the 13-2 bank freeze the cue ball, 2-ball, come over here.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that was what was going to happen. And he stroked it, hit it pretty good. We can play 20 a game and we can start with you spotting me like a lot and we'll adjust the ball every time until we find an even game. But I'm not going to start out 200 down until we figure out the even game. I do that with too many people. Like I said, buddy, you're like the 5-7 in the break over me playing rotation pool. Oh, I think he kicked that ball. I'm not sure though. Yeah, he's spotting one, so he kicked that ball. He didn't catch it on the way in.
We did another event, and we keep doing the roller coaster. What we're looking at, with your help, would be to bring in a more consistent way to create a team, and then really go after what we believe is our online edge. Okay, so what are your cumulative losses in gaming of the session? How much have you lost in this year? Oh, crazy.
You know, I would be definitely opposed to have been banking that 13 there. Although, so I like the shot that he picked, and he hit it very well. Joe seems excited, and he's jumping all over the shot for some reason. I think he should have taken a look, because this wasn't just as easy as he made it look. Now, he hit that extremely well, and maybe it was lying that well. But man, I wish he would take a few seconds and take a look at some other shots and just what's out there. I mean, You just don't ever know. Like, you could be passing up dead balls. You could be, and not just for yourself, but for your opponent. I mean, you gotta look. You gotta read the stack. You can't just pass that shit up. Jerry, it doesn't matter, man. I sell out, and you shoot the hell out of the ball, and you're gonna get to shoot if you play me, no matter what. I can't stop you from shooting. And I've played. You haven't played. I've played tons of it. I know exactly what's going to happen. I don't need to play the game at 20 a game to lose money to you. I can tell what an even game is. I already know. Like I said, man, I've played everybody from every speed, pretty much. Joe with the ill-advised kick, but he made the ball. And hit it well. Didn't entirely sell out too bad if he would have missed it, other than a combo, which I don't know. I don't think with all the balls in front of the hole he would have been shootable. So let's go ahead and go with that. Was a good shot. So he almost jumped out there left-handed and shot this ball jerked up. Instead, he decided against it when he got the bridge. He looks funny, trying to set this ball up and not comfortable at all. And he's got an underhand, like, stranger motion going with the cue stick. And while I'm a fan of getting a stranger every now and then, I don't think it's a great move playing pool. Little bank shot on the 6 with a little draw to get a bank on the 8, plus play a little cover. But he looks like he's rolling forward without a care in the world. Just pocket the ball. Now, from right here, you could make the 9. You're going to give up position on the 5, but I don't think it matters. I'd go ahead and go for the ball myself. It's a way to finally get these open while doing something constructive. That is what Joe did. We're thinking on the same page here. It's kind of scary. So, do you just bank the 8, stop the cue ball right on the 2 ball? I think that's the play. It's certainly safe looking. And you're, I think he's ahead balls now, so you might want to go ahead and get this ball up table. Now, I don't know why you'd want to stick it up there giving up banks rather than leave it down below, but that's what he chose to do. So I think we've got an 11-3 bank with the cue ball, stop and drop hot right there where it is.
I've got all the buzz now. Camry.
Lease a new 2019 Camry for $229 per month, or get $1,500 customer cash on Camry. Find yours at buytoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
So here we go with the 11-3 bank, freeze cue ball right where it is. 11 ball goes up there near the 15-ish somewhere. And it didn't hit it real good, but it doesn't matter. Oh, no. Did he give up the 14? Does 14 go? Can anybody tell? Can we tell from our other sexy cam angle? Where's my other sexy cam angle? Guys? Anybody? I don't know. I don't think it goes. I think the tangent line is lying. All wrong. Shit. I done fucked up. See if I can figure this out. Telestrator. Sketch. Oh, I fucked up.
Well, we know that the products will sell, and what I'm here for is to create the stakes that I'm...
Dang it.
Execution. Those reasons are
Look, the product clearly works. I mean, that's the intriguing part. I mean, year after year after year, you've made no money. That's very impressive. So the question is, do you need adult supervision so that you get focused on one thing? Because there must be somebody that wants a brew that works. It's just how do you find them? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because I've been punched for 3+ years, and I've been working on instinct to go.
Sorry. I was playing with my telestrator. I got it all ready to go, so now I can talk and draw with you if you like. Oh, I still left it on that shitty screen. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was just trying to see if that ball would go. Now I got my little guy here ready to go, so we can have some more fun.
Really drive the business. I always did it project-based, and it's been a long time. We did $2.5 million. Each one of us started $100 million plus business.
Hard to believe there's only 2 balls in the hole. 5 is going to make it 3.
But I just really don't think you have your act together on this. Those reasons. Okay, sorry about that.
And then I have stay. And your first
All right.
make it sell.
Yep, just doing the nice, easy, safe shot here.
Maybe then you need
Not trying to do too much.
a hard look at that. One of the things that I say to people is
One thing I don't like about that is he laid it so it still goes to his opponent's hole and not his. I don't think the 114 is wired, but man, that ball will end up awfully close to the pocket. So, and you can freeze a cue ball on it too. So I don't know. I don't know how long that's going to get to stay there because it's going to prevent Tom from going up table.
Innovation requires education.
Evan, it's a great product. It's been demonstrated. It's been a very rock and roll.
Right. So is he going to go to protect this 4 ball? I don't think he can do both. He's going to run up table now. Yeah, there's a double kiss there. He did protect it. He did fine, I think. But we're going to keep playing a little game of cat and mouse here. There's no bank there. Oh, you know, he could fly this 8 ball into the bank into that 114 and go for a ripper here. I don't like it, but it's possible. I don't think this one has a chance. I'm not really sure about this. You can maybe get it to come through here, but it can't go. Yeah, I didn't like that. It just didn't have a lot of tomorrow. Kind of got him. Yeah, I don't like this at all now. Now, man, this ball's coming right through there. Cue ball's going to burst right there. What do you think? This is a big area you can leave the cue ball in because, you know, you can, if you get this ball, like, even if you cut it over too far, it's fine. And this ball can come all the way to here without scratching, you know. There's a lot of room for error here that this can go good. I'd hit it with a little touch of high inside, pretty thick. Ah, he tried, but he scratched. Yeah, you had to hit it thicker than that. Or if it really was that touchy, I would have shot it over into the rail off the 4, you know, into the rail, then the 4, making sure you caught the side rail. I think it was definitely the right shot. You just had to manipulate it enough to make sure you couldn't scratch no matter what. It was a tough fly, though. That's where it was wanting to go. And I like an analogy I heard. That's no good. I heard a cool analogy today. It was about hockey, but it was Jamie Rivers talking on the radio, former Blues player. Any Blues fans out there? And he said basically you got to think of the middle of the ice, that it's like a river, and it's all running straight towards your goal. And anything that gets trapped in there is going to go towards your goal. It's just where it's going to want to go, and it's where it's going to go. And so you just don't ever throw the puck over there as a defenseman, and you don't ever try to get the puck through there. You just got to get it out of there up along the boards any way you can. And, you know, that you just got to try to keep it out of the river. Don't try to throw something across the river. It's going to get caught in the current. Don't try to, you know, talking about that. And sometimes like that, like you got to think about it like that. You just got to get that cue ball into a rail, man. You just can't let it go right into that corner pocket or side pockets. You got to drive it into a rail. You got to be very confident you can get in the rail. Scratching in one pocket is just, I mean, against a good player, it's suicide. You know, if you scratch in one pocket, I'd love to see the statistics.
We can hear you, all right?
What?
I can hear you.
I'm sorry.
No, I know I'm committing suicide.
No, I. Sorry, guys. Apparently the players could hear me. I was talking a little loud, and I didn't mean it. We were just talking in general, Tom. I'm sorry.
I was even talking about yours.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
you guys, we can get a side bet going if you want. Start next game.
No, we weren't talking about anything like that.
Okay.
I promise. So. You know, anytime you're playing, it gets a little personal. It happens to all of us. We all have a lot of pride, a lot of confidence, a lot of character. And when I'm critiquing these guys, I'm doing it not as like stepping on their throats trying to make myself a little taller. I don't play as good as either one of these guys. It's just strictly kind of let's all learn together kind of thing. And that's really it. I'm trying to tell anybody out there who doesn't play the game what they might be seeing or missing or hearing. And for these guys going back to watch it, maybe they'll pick something up about their game. No matter who's commentated on my games, I've picked something up. And even Dwayne, you looking for a side bet? I'll see if he wants one in the next game. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I when I was saying it's suicide against a good player, I mean like pro level. If two pros are playing and one scratches, I think if two pros are playing and the guy scratches, I think the levels of winning the game have got to be just ridiculous. I mean, the top level pros giving them a ball in hand. I mean, at certain points in the game, you can't win, and that's my biggest point. At our level, man, I got 4 ball in hands in a game recently and lost the game. I mean, it can be challenging, but when you're a champion pool player and you get a ball in hand playing in one pocket, I mean, it can change the game by 3 or 4 balls, on average. Maybe not quite that high. Maybe it's just 2 to 3 balls on average, something like that. But man, it can be a lot, especially if it happens when the balls are somewhat open. Extremely early in the game, it may not be a death sentence, but yeah, I know he didn't. It's okay. I'll tell it to him. It ain't his fault. And I'll tell you. It just isn't. He's got a good bank shot here. Maybe even be able to get the cue ball down. Yeah, I thought he could drag it more than that. Against good players it is, Jerry. When you're playing against pro level players, champion level players, and you scratch in this game, like I said, man, you can't get there. You can't win that way. Now, like I said, against guys that miss, no different than 9-ball. You scratch a 9-ball, it's over. I mean, at the pro level, those guys are all out. It's just, this game, man, scratching in it is, I mean, you're either going to give up your entire position, you're going to give up balls to your opponent's hole. I mean, just so much can change. Like I said, now, one of the funniest things is me and a couple of guys up here talked about right after the break. So when a guy scratches on the break, usually there's nothing by your hole, because usually it means the cue ball clipped that last ball and then scratched, basically leaving 4 or 5, 6 open ball. And usually if that happens, it's because you hit the second ball full too, which means that you opened up the rack pretty good. So usually you have quite a few balls over there on your side after a break that you scratch on. And and so when you get a ball in hand up there after the break, usually you're going to drive that one ball into another ball down here, trying to cross them both over to your side, or you're going to 3-rail a ball out of your opponent's pocket towards your hole, or you're going to but no matter what you do, you're doing it from 7-8 feet away, and it's when you're a C player or even a B player without a straight stroke, it's very difficult to stop your cue ball from that far away. And so you really run the risk if you're trying to do anything, if you're trying to get any power on anything, to get it over to your side, to clear something, change the table, change the furniture, do something like that, you're letting your stroke out a little bit. And if you don't have a great stroke, which most C and B players don't, you're really running the risk of giving up shots. And so scratching after the break is actually it's not the worst thing in the world to happen at a lower level of pool. Like I said, at a higher level where they have a dead straight stroke and they can stop the rock anywhere they want, you're going to come out bad. But at a C or B level, you're not always going to come out terrible by scratching on the break. Like I said, you'll open up more balls to your pocket, and your opponent can really only move 2 of them usually. And that's if they hit it good. And sometimes they just sell out. But out in the middle of the game, man, you'd almost forget about it. You know, for really good players. Look at this shot. That was a really good shot. If he was trying to dump that ball also, it was really strong. You know, I don't necessarily agree with bringing another ball in play, but it put another ball as a big problem for this ball. Yeah, he gets that up just another few inches, and he gives up a bank right there. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was a good. That's why it wasn't the worst shot right there. So if I'm Joe, I'm getting that ball out of play and tying it up in my opponent's corner. So I'd either shoot it into the 1 ball, possibly, or shoot it past the 1 ball so it ties up down there near the. But I want to get it down in my opponent's corner. Yeah, I guess we can see all the obvious problems with this. There's a straight back bank. There's a bank on the 3. There's a cross on the 13. But that's a little danger. The only thing I don't like about this is you leave a bank on the 13, and this is a wide angle shot. So you're either hitting it hard or hitting it with inside English, or back cutting it so the cue ball runs down here, or full out crossing it like he did. Wow, did he hit that good? He hit it real good. But he could have gave up a bank if he hit it any harder at all. But man, he hit it really good, great speed, so hard to say anything there. All right. He got lucky and the 3 ball blocked the bank that I don't think he would have shot anyway, but it did block it. So now, boy, where's he going to look to put this ball? I kind of like just kind of putting it by the 4 ball. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, he gave up his position on his 3, but it might have saved him from giving up a shot. Forced him to dictate him to shoot what he wanted him to shoot. So the balls are getting clogged up over here on Joe's side. Tom has some open banking lanes. Question is does he have a really good shot? So there's a penalty for hitting this 2 ball bad. The 13 ball, I don't know if you can actually make, and even if you can, you might sell out something here. Yeah, so he didn't really hit it with the intention of making it, but he didn't sell out anything. There's no way Joe can shoot this bank. He's got him in a touch of a trap here, other than Tom's not going to shoot that bank shot. I mean, I don't think he's going to run the risk of letting Joe shoot, so I don't think he's going to shoot it either way, but he does have him in a touch of a trap here. Yeah, he could bank this ball and draw this cue ball back to the end rail, forcing him a really long, hard shot, but yikes. So, like I said, that little trap he put him in just confused Joe enough and forced Joe to shoot a bad shot. And he gave up a ball, putting this game a whole lot closer. You know, and so look at the table now. I mean, it looks a whole lot different now, you know. Before, with no ball on the spot, the ball's all up table and everything else, and now all of a sudden there's 3 balls going to Tom's hole with a 4th one banking if he gets on the 3rd one. You know, so he's got to pocket this ball. This is usually the hardest one. At least it is for me. So now, this one you usually have a nice bit of confidence. You're only a foot and a half from the ball, 14 inches, 15 inches from the ball. You can put a nice, easy stroke on it to get a really good shot at this 13. Now, he may actually have the angle to even go up table to shoot this ball rather than having to bank it. Now, I don't know if he's going to run that risk. I wouldn't. I'd still hit this ball pocket speed. But I don't know which one he's going to choose. You know, I don't know. The bank's really good. So he may choose, like I said, to do what I would do and just pocket this ball pocket speed. But he also plays a little better than me, and he looked like he tried to go up table. I just don't, I don't know. He kind of looked like maybe he just went all out to make it without anything else in mind. Just go all out to make that ball. And take whatever he gets. He was going to get a decent leave in no matter what. But he left it a little far away from his hole. It's going to let Joey shoot if he wishes, which he wishes. Joe undercut it. Left her close. I think Tom could pound it out of there. Is this the angle for that old Jersey Red shot? You hit this ball really hard in its face, or across its face, and double kiss it to your hole. Is that the shot? Is this the angle? I'll let them know. I don't want to say anything in the middle of this game, though. Let me wait till the end of the game.
Like to be really into like the products that I invest in because it makes me excited. Just not.
Hey, Tom, come here real quick. I just want you to read something real quick. Take 1 second.
When I invest in someone, I like to really understand what value I invest.
Yeah, 1 second.
And I'm still unclear on that.
You just didn't hear
Why you need
We were talking about pros playing how many scratches.
to go to detail.
That's all I want you to
That's
know.
not the first thing I've heard.
What?
I mean, I don't care if you talk. I just don't want you to be loud enough for me to hear you.
No, I know. I just wanted you to know that's what it was about.
I mean, I don't even care if people talk. I just don't want them talking about.
No,
what
I understand.
thought was the game, I guess.
I understand. I apologize. I just wanted you to know.
Better go.
Yeah, that
Don't roll
ball's got
uphill.
to go.
You fucking slut.
It didn't go. Yeah, this table does roll uphill just a touch right there. If you hit it really, really slow, it will just like go right at the tits, either direction. And it's ever so slight, but it will happen on that particular bank in this table.
I'm not gonna buy 10% of your company so I can make a phone call for you. I want you to stay the course, keep doing what you're doing.
Oh wow. Oh, another change. When it gets ugly, it gets ugly. Sometimes it feels like these pockets just suck that cue ball in. I tell you, some nights I feel like I'm firing balls in the hole and they just rattle and sit. They just won't go.
3 balls come out, right?
I don't know. Did you make one somewhere?
I made one in the corner.
Made one in the corner.
I made one.
Some nights, you feel like you're playing 9-ball and you're just ball after ball hanging up on you, rattling up, hanging up on you. Some nights you feel like you're playing one pocket and that cue ball just can't stop finding the hole.
Made one of my balls.
You know, just can't stop finding
I
it.
don't know. I don't know what
Brandon, do I
happened.
spot 2 or 3 there? I made a ball in the corner. I scratched.
Be one of yours and the one you made in the corner.
The one you made plus just one penalty.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot this 8. I don't know if you want to look at it before I shoot it.
Oh, 8. Oh, yeah.
Just, no, I didn't know if you wanted to look at.
No, that's
okay.
It's the 2020 RX 350 all-wheel drive, 39 horsepower.
if there's any beginner one pocket players out there, you're always welcome to come by. I'll teach you what I know, teach you the basics, teach for cheap. I love the game, and I'm certainly no expert, and I'm not going to fix your stance and stroke and all that kind of stuff. That's better left for Mark Wilson and some other people. But if you're looking for some real cheap, just basic one pocket, I'm happy to show you the ropes. It's a fun game. It's a lot of fun. You really need to be able to understand banking and have the ability to strike the cue ball clean. You have the ability to stop your cue ball. Be able to hit stop shots fairly well. So there's some basic skills you have to play one pocket, or else the game's not a lot of fun. If you can't execute, those certain shots, then it just wouldn't be a lot of fun. So I suggest practicing those things first. Be able to cleanly hit the cue ball, being able to stop the cue ball from a lot of different places, becoming proficient in some bank shots and some angles. Maybe play the game of banks with your friends for a while. Just bang the balls around, try to get a great feel for them all. Have somebody show you a couple of little banks. And then, you learn to spot some dead balls and some tangent lines and some, different little shots. It's a fun game.
Oh my god, is that bad?
I think as a lower rated player to make all your games better. I think as a, champion, like if your goal is to be a 9-ball champion, maybe you don't need to ever play one pocket. But if your goal is to be a great all-around player, I think one ball helps all your other games. I really do. You look at some of these Asian guys out there these days, they're amazing rotation players. They don't really play all the other games that I know of real well. Having said that, I didn't even know there was that many phenomenal Asian players out there for sure. Now, we heard stories, but it was hard to know that they had that many stone-cold champions over there. And boy, did they ever. There's a good 10 of them over there that play just as good as anybody on earth, I'd have to say. Anybody not named Shane?
I'm not gonna buy 10% of your company so I can make a phone call for you to Whole Foods. I want you to stay the course, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so. Wait, Sarah. Why don't I just make a deal if you'd like to hear me more than welcome? Okay, but not Mr. One.
You're gonna overpay.
I'm not gonna overpay.
Watch this.
A couple of things. There's a lot of things that you're not even mentioning that I'm noticing that makes you dream much more. You're a designer. And it's so adorable. Every little piece. Yes. But then you're not utilizing is that gorgeous face. You really are the healthiest looking person I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm struggling, Joey. I'm struggling. The struggles. I'm not playing well tonight, am I? Alright. Really? One, so it's my break?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I broke first, so.
So Joe's up one
Started off
game.
pretty good, but something happened. I don't know.
So if you entertain that more, I would like to be your partner.
It's going to be Tom's break.
Pay attention to that other thing back there.
What? Oh, the machine?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, I'm not. I'm just going to stay out because I really.
I have admired Sarah for so long, but honestly, I would have done a deal with Mark. I admire him so much, and
Here we go, close to the rail again. I think he scratched on his last break. So let's see if he makes any kind of an adjustment on this one. Like I said, I'm having trouble breaking from that close to the rail like that. I hit that one really good and parked one right in front of us. So we got the cue ball over the side rail. see what Joe comes up. He's not in any huge danger right now. I like the 9-1 bank, freeze the cue ball right there. You could also just drive through the 11 ball. But that has possibility of getting something open to your hole. Now I think Tom can just poke the 15-6 open and leave the cue ball froze right there between those balls. He might be able to just poke the 8 ball if not. And then if all else fails, he could come off the 7 ball. He could possibly play off the 9. He's got a lot of options here. I like this one because it opens up stuff to his hole. Hit a little hard. Put something over here near Joey's side. I wonder if Joe can 2-rail the 15 into the 10 and freeze the cue ball right there if he can. Oh no, so he just went forward. I think he could have, man, I really do. I think he passed up a good shot there. I'm not positive though.
Since the invention of the wheel, we've been obsessed with going faster than our legs can take us. Once the automobile came along, it was off to the races. But whether you're competing for a professional title,
Oof. Joe's in a tough spot now. He's got a cross on the 1 ball. He could bank that 1 ball and run the cue ball up the table with some high inside English. That's what I see. That's all I see. I guess there's a 3-railer there, but it's kind of ugly to hit it. Yeah, he hit the bank and he hit it really good. He didn't make it, but he hit it really good. Let's see if he got him doubled up everywhere. He sounds upset he didn't make it, but man, he hit the ball good. I mean, the most thing he can be upset about is he gave up a cross bank here.
Seeing it kind of curve around there, I was like, oh shit.
But he's going to be in a better position than he was before. So let's say he's got a good chance to put this, within 6 inches of the hole. And but he looks like he's not hitting it like that. That looks strange. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I'd take that. I can tell he wasn't hitting it like that. I just wasn't sure why he was hitting low on it. So that's why he had a ball that went straight in his hole. He just needed to bang into it. So he's sitting pretty to make some things happen here. We could shoot the 14 off the 5. We could shoot the 14, maybe even straight in the hole. We could shoot it off the 12. We can play safe. 5 goes clean. I don't think I like that, man. You can't let this guy shoot from here. Look at that rainbow of balls. So if he can get on, if he can start out good and pop 1 and get back on another one and a little closer, he's going to be in real good shape. Yeah, this is where you didn't want him to be right here. Now he can really control his cue ball. It looks like he's not going to punish him too bad since he jacked himself off over the 3. But he's thinking about taking on a pretty difficult shot here. I'm kind of surprised at this. Yeah, he took the easier shot. So now does he have the marbles to bank this ball, or is he just going to go ahead and give up the 10 ball and freeze him under it? Nope, he's banking. Looks like he's hitting it with speed too, not just rolling it. And he hit it perfect, and he got another ball out of it. So now he gets to get one. Are we going to put on a big draw stroke here for no reason to get on nothing? I mean, possible to get that little tiny window to get the 9. Well, he tried, all for no reason. And now he gets to have a bad angle to shoot out that ball. Oh, man, I'm sorry. There's a couple things going on, and I didn't get a bet in there.
I was approached with a much bigger script with a lot more characters in it. It was just too unwieldy to try to do in a couple hours, right? But this script, the way they boiled it down to these 2 guys, these kind of guys, yeah, different. I thought he did a great job. And my biggest fear, I hate comedy when people go, oh, they go off some jump and it's CGI. Come on, it's not to do that. But where's the crashes, nothing looks CGI. Nothing is CGI. Rolling camera, and we
Tom got started.
rid of Carroll Shelby is because he raced there in '59. He was the only guy they knew, American, who raced in this racetrack, French public road, French country.
The idea of going 230 miles an hour down the front straight and not knowing if you're going to be able to stop. In fact, there are guys flipping a car and people tripping on them just in the middle of travel fields, right? They're in a pasture and nobody's going to come save them. Already had the fuel lines going through the doors, and they're just waiting for a spark that's going to just light them on fire and kill them. And in fact, one of the drivers basically started taking a wrench to the steering wheel. The guy worked his way out of the situation as he was standing in still a dangerous sport, obviously, but not like what these guys were doing.
Right, and also, they race for virtually nothing. 3 tires, gas, and oil. Oh, wow, that's unbelievable. And that's what professional sports was back in those days. It wasn't the big business it is now. Did you meet any members of the family?
No, we talked to some of the guys who worked with him who were on that crew, and then there's a really neat thing that happened with some of the drivers' sons played their dad.
Yeah, well, Alex,
Exactly, yeah, he was in there. Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you something, Carroll Shelby's son, he had these printed up in memory of his dad. He said he's going to get 300 of these made. And I think they were so impressed with the phones, they asked me to give you this. This is from the family, and I think it's just a pretty cool little thing. It's not available to the Franklin Mint. You can buy it. I couldn't get one.
Shelby would have sold it to me.
He was also a bit of a P.T. Barnum. He could sell something, like with these Cobras, he would have one, and he painted every week to look like he had a different car, with different rollers on it. You know, all those kind of deals.
Best salesman of all time.
He was the best salesman. But a great heart, you know, that's what I loved about the guy. I want to see if you're as good a driver as Carroll Shelby. He raced at Le Mans, you know, he did the whole deal. Want to take you for a ride? Come on. Consider how you pulled in.
Just found a temporary potato holder for sale. Also known as a potato gun.
Oh, God. Yeah, God.
Oh yeah, you're over here.
Okay.
No, no, you're right here. But
No, my pocket's over here.
are you sure? Because I just shot
I got
ball in
five.
here.
Got 5 balls.
Yeah, but I moved it in the wrong spot. I'm pretty sure. I took one out of yours and put it in.
Well, we only got 7 of them. I got 5 balls.
Yeah, you did. So now I have.
No, I was about
That's
to
right,
shoot in the
now.
wrong pocket. I was just making sure I was.
Yeah,
over
you
here.
have 5 balls. I have 3, right?
Yeah, I was trying to find a ball that went in your pocket. I was about to shoot in the wrong pocket, and I just had to verify which pocket was mine. Sorry.
Wait a minute. I don't have. This is my pocket, right?
No, you're over there.
Really?
What is it? Is it? I don't know.
Who broke?
He broke.
He's been breaking this pocket over here. Over there.
Then I've been putting my balls over there.
I don't know about that. I got caught trying to sell the key real quick. I'm just saying, if you broke, you almost always break this pocket.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that's
all. I
fine.
can't tell you where you got shot. That's all I can tell you.
What do you think, Joe? You think it's right?
I'm pretty sure that this is my hole. I don't know if the balls are right though. I think that you have more balls, or get closer to even balls.
I just made like 3 balls on my last
I know,
round.
that's what I was saying.
I was trying to sell this kid Q, and I just
Well, I can go on YouTube and backtrack it.
can't tell after I stop it all.
Even watching it live.
Yeah, so I mean, I can stop the recording, everything, we can wait, and then they'll post in like 15 minutes or so. Would that be?
I was pretty sure I had 5, but
I agree.
okay.
I think you did have 5. So.
Well, argument's over then.
Pretty tired.
No,
That's your hole right there.
over here?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty sure.
Sorry,
You can't really check, I guess.
No, but if he broke, I mean,
I'll tell you what, if we go back after we're done, and I was wrong and you were right, and it would have affected the game somehow, I'll give you the money back, right?
Alright,
I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, I really
I'm not worried about it though, I'm really not.
I'm just tired, that's all. I've just been putting my balls on the wrong side, that's all. Like a fucking idiot.
Sorry, guys, I'm working on a few things here, so I missed that. But Tom broke, and he always breaks that pocket, so we're assuming that this is his pocket, and they think that they have the balls right. Apparently, he threw them in the wrong hole. Hoping they got it right now. Uh-oh is right. I don't know. It's very makeable, but cue ball's going at the side pocket. I'm trying it. Like I said, I was caught on Facebook trying to sell a cue. Dwayne's saying you guys are correct now.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm just watching.
Confusing.
And left Joe straight in, yeah. Well, this ball's getting shot at Joe's hole. The question is can he spin the cue ball up behind the 589? I think you can. But he didn't even try. He just went all out to make the bank, and he made it. Dwayne, Tom says hi. Gary Knight wanted to bet against you this game, Tom, but I forgot to ask you in between games. Tom said, get your ass down here, Gary Knight. You don't know Gary Knight, Tom? You know Gary Banks.
I'm bad with names, I gotta see the face.
Gary Banks, the bald-headed.
Who?
Gary Banks. Bald-headed Gary. He's one of Joe Wolford's buddies.
I'll know him if I see him. I'm bad with names.
You don't know little Gary Knight that bets a lot, about this tall, bald-headed, has a motorcycle and all sorts from North County?
I'm sure I do. Oh, yeah.
I know you had a motorcycle.
Yeah, he's got a Harley, I think.
He still wants to bet against me. Well, I think I got my hands full.
He just, Gary, he just wants to bet. You know how Gary and I met? He walked up to me at Hillsboro and he said, who do you like in this? I said, I'm not real sure. And he goes, well, just pick somebody. I just want to bet. He said, I'll take either guy for 200 a set.
He's got action pains, yeah.
He's my man.
Oh, this is dangerous here. Jesus. I don't like this.
Tom said he doesn't like it. I don't know if looks like he's just going to roll it. Yeah, and just take his medicine here.
If I whacked it, I don't know.
So let's see what Joe's just going to pocket this ball. Okay, so he gets them all in play, but he's going to lose this. Lose these balls in front of his hole. Hey, careful now, man. There's a lot of guys that can't remember what pocket they got. I'm one of them. Yeah, he's going to lose these balls now, though. I don't know. I'm not saying that was a terrible idea by Joe by getting him to play, but he's going to lose these balls now. I just wonder if the 5's going to go or if he's just going to touch the 5, like off the rail than the 5. I don't know about this. It came out like really well, I think. So let's see where Joe can get this cue ball. I think you got to go the other way here with some left-hand spin. I don't know for sure. I really don't. I don't know if that fires the 9 too hard, if you try to spin it out there, or if you can even get it out enough. Yeah, he couldn't get it out enough. See, I would have wanted to get it all the way down table, and I would even prefer if it was over by that chalk, kind of. But this isn't no picnic either. There's some sellouts here. There's some bank shots you can give up here. There's some wicked things that can happen here if you try to do too much. He didn't try to do too much. He just tried to play a nice little safety. So now, because the 5 ball's off the rail a little bit, you can kick this ball in fairly easily. This is dangerous. Going off 2 balls, and he got it behind the stack. He did good. I don't know that there's an easy 1-rail kick at this 2 ball. Although, if he can kick to right here, like that, he could kick cross this ball over maybe. See if I can draw a better line than that. So my question is if this is the mark, can he kick to right there, crossing this ball over? He's not trying. He's just going for this kick. I don't know if he could have the other one. Now he made this ball. So I think he'll be happy with that. I don't think he's too upset about that. So now if you're Joe, do you rub the 11, some outside English, bring the cue ball back into the stack? Or is it risking too many bank shots there if you separate them too much, if you don't hit it thin enough? He looks like he's going to go ahead and fire his ball closest to his hole out the way. What about a kick into the 15 or the 8, letting the cue ball go up table that way? Now he's going to sell out a ball. He's not going to get a rail here. This is one of those shots I've talked about a lot where you're not trying to do anything at all, and you either scratch or don't get a rail or something goofy like that when you're literally not trying to accomplish anything right there. You know, you can't do those. So Tom's got a 3-railer to the hole. I don't know why he's not looking at just banking the 6 ball, though. 6 ball looks like a much better bank to me. Maybe he's scared of the 8 ball. It's the only thing I can think of. You hit that ball nicely, but it's going to Joe's hole. It's going to get crossed. I don't want to say this too loud, but you cross this ball with low outside English and try to run into that stack. If you catch the 6, the 11, the 15, or the 8, you catch any. You can't catch the 8, but you catch any of those balls, you open them up right to your hole. He didn't try. But yeah, that's what I'd have gone for sure. I shouldn't say for sure. I'd have to look at the angle band, but it sure looked like it was laying fat for it. Now, you definitely don't want to bring the cue ball across the face of the 6 ball. You know, that can be bad. But as long as you know, even if you don't hit any of it, it just goes up table and there's nothing that went to Tom's hole. It would have been a killer shot, I think. Is there a cross here? Or just the old double kiss with the bank shot repercussion? So a little pop draw shot, giving yourself the 6 ball if you make it, or you're going all the way up table with it, selling out the 15 if you don't. Giving up a bank shot to your opponent's hoe. Yep, so he established or decided to go with the give up the bank shot to his opponent's hole style. Obviously, I'm saying I wouldn't have done that. Can't just let the cue ball out in the middle of the table for free. I mean, people play pool here. You know, you're not playing the paper boy. Playing for money. Can't leave the cue ball out in the middle of the table for free. These guys are making me look bad, though, because apparently you can. A little better. Now we got the cue ball at least towards the end rail. Ball's closer to the pocket. You know, we're not expecting amateurs to leave the cue ball frozen to the rail at the end of every shot like Scott Frost does. But, how'd he hit it? Oh, I thought he hit it good. Good speed. Look at that. Nope. Goal here is to make balls in your pocket before your opponent makes them in his. So the beginning of the game, the breaker will designate which pocket is his by breaking a certain direction. And once that's decided, Each opponent has one corner pocket to shoot in. They're playing 10-7, so Fast Joseph, Fast Joey, author of The Hustled and Gotten, also known as Fastest Joey today, or Fastest Joseph, has to make 10 balls in his pocket before Tom makes 7 in his pocket. Joe's a little more accomplished player and definitely can outshoot Tom by quite a bit. Tom definitely knows the game of one pocket much better and is what we call moving better. So it's kind of like chess on a pool table. So Tom's going to keep looking for ways to move balls away from Joe's hole and towards his, and Joe's going to do the vice versa. So, like I said, Joe right now has 4 balls, looking for 5 more to give him 9 because he already spotted one that it would make 10. That's what those pennies are up there for. Tom looks like he's got 6 balls needing 1. So in essence, Joe needs them all, and Tom needs 1. So one thing that's just a little funny, Tom's a very traditional player, and I would think he'd be looking to get these balls up table and get them out of play, being that he only needs 1. That's kind of the way a traditional player would be playing this part of the game. Now, he may feel like he can outmove Joe down here and has less, I don't know, though. But Joe's a monster shooter, and I don't want to let him see all these balls down here. Now, he may just not have had an opportunity. Joe just may have played real good and got him down here. I don't really recall, but... Yeah, Tom, well, I mean, he might be, but he's down a game, and he's not playing phenomenal. But, you know, Joe's, these balls all go, you know, if he could, well, the 9 ball doesn't, but I wonder if the 8 is dead off the 6 at all. This 11 could be dead off something. He's putting some pressure on him. Tom's not taking it, though. He's just one move at a time, and he's going to let himself out of this when he gets out of it. He's not trying to force anything. You know, like I said, he's been playing a long time. He knows this game. He knows exactly what's going on right now. But he also knows, like I said, he'd feel better if he started getting some balls out of play, I would think. But like I said, it doesn't look like he's taking any chances on selling out all the balls at once. Now, I will say this, though. Joe has a shot here, and this ball does go for sure. And I think you could run the cue ball up and maybe even bump the 6, which could really be strong. Oh, if he could have had that ball just rub the 6 a little bit, it would have held the 11 more, got the 11 closer, and it would open up the 8 ball to maybe even be more of a blocker. I think Tom will just cross the 9 out of here. You know, the 11-15 is a little tied up. Just go ahead and cross the 9 ball out of here. Get it out of play. There you go. So now he's got something out of play. He's also got something he could bank if he gets some stuff tied up. Although Joe may have a bank shot on it, decide to shoot it first. Yeah, I've been saying that for a little bit here. I don't know if you've been listening, Mark, but I said it's really funny because Tom's a pretty traditional player that he's playing with all these balls down table. I said, now it might just be because Joe's forcing it that way, but I'm just surprised that he hasn't tried harder to get him out of there. But like I said, I don't think he feels this pressure yet. I think he knows that he can control his cue ball, and he's got him out far enough to where he's, you know, not in any huge danger. He's also got him clustered up a little bit, so yeah, that's Mark. That's what I'm thinking too, but it's not what's going on yet. Yep. So here we go now. Finally, just draw back where that chalk is right there. Straight back a little bit, right there by the chalk. Look at that. See, it's so easy for me to comment on his game because, like I said, we both kind of come from the same lineage. You know, of kind of players. We both just kind of play the same style. And like I said, Joe, I don't always know what he's going to do. He doesn't always shoot things the way our classic, you know, kind of style is. I did not see that, although I've seen it done before. Once again, though, Tom's not in any danger. He just needs to Dwayne, you knew who it was. Did he give you the thumb? Did he give you the coup de grace? The old thumb in the butthole? Oh, looky, looky. Powerful shot there. That tangent line is so brutal that there's just not many places to go. I think he's going the wrong way. He should have gone the other way. But, are you serious, Dwayne? You didn't know it? You just realized it now? When you were saying hi to him, now you're just saying that? Come on, man. I don't know what just happened, but we just jumped in viewership by a ton. Hey, Tom, Dwayne says he just now found out that you're Tom Thumb. He said he had absolutely no idea that you're little Tom Thumb. Mark just told him. I really don't know what's going on, but welcome to everybody here watching our show here tonight. I'm Brendan. I own the Players Club. We've got Tom playing Fastest Joey, also known as Fast Joey, also known as Joey Vola, author of the Hustle and Gotten book out there available on Amazon, or it used to be. I'm not sure if it still is, but I know he's rewriting it. And a new copy out maybe in 2020. He wants to add a whole lot to it, make it a little better, possibly write a series from what I hear. That's what we got going on here today, a little bit of one pocket. Fastest Joey's given up 10-7, means he's got to make 10 balls in his pocket for old Tom Thumb make 7. That would be number 7. So I think they're going to be even. We're going to move on to the next game. And I think we're going to take a quick break here, guys. So I'm going to take one myself. So please don't go anywhere. We got more coming. And you get to see Fast Joey run some balls here hopefully soon. It's always fun to watch. Tom's going to do everything he can to hold that against him and outmove him, bury him, freeze him to balls and rails. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be right back. What's going on here, man? All of a sudden, there's like 90 people watching Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. We had like 7. It literally just jumped to like 90.
Wow.
I don't know what's going on.
Huh.
Over a decade later, in 1913, Genesee went on a hunting trip with his friends. One of his more idiotic
Hey, I do my commentary.
decided to hide
Yeah, you're a good commentator.
imitate a wild, enraged boar. He succeeded in scaring his buddies so much that they shot him. Horrified, the
I don't know that that's going to be what's going on, but
Might be. You're a good commentator.
Unfortunately, he died in the car.
You're good at analytical stuff.
It was a Mercedes, just as he predicted.
Analyst.
This is another sad.
You're the analyst of the organization.
dude, that's crazy.
What? 90?
People all of a sudden watching. I don't know if it's real or not.
Right now on CNBC Bacon, screaming for ice cream, new flavors, premium prices. How much would you pay for a pint?
Oh, God, never pay $12 for
The inside scoop on CNBCBacon.com.
Isn't it time you connected to something greater? Sometimes the best way to connect is to disconnect. This moment of escape was brought to you by Acura, for people who love cars.
I'd be one of my friends.
The amazing new
I have a lot of friends, you know.
Yeah?
A lot of Facebook friends.
Check, check, check. Hello, hello. I'm checking out something, guys, for you. I'll be right back, though. Don't go anywhere. Check, 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 check. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now Tom's going to attempt to get out of Joe's break. He's got a little crosser. Oh, he's sold out, though. He's going to let Joe shoot. I see the 13. Let's see how he plays it. If he just plays position on the 5, he looks like he might be running all the way over that end rail, the side rail. No, he didn't.
E-Trade Core Portfolios is an easy automated way to get invested. We'll save you time by building, monitoring, and managing a portfolio for you, and provide all hands-on-deck support when you need it, helping you become top dog.
All right, guys, sorry about that. I'm back for real. So he's got a good shot at the 5, but he is jerked off over the 8. He can hit straight high ball and come into the 15 maybe, and maybe get a shot at the 2 if he powers up just a little bit. He can hit a little high inside on it and try to come up for the 9 ball if he wished. You know, there's not many other things he can do this. He can't get much English on this ball, and you don't want to move 2 balls. It's a foul. And he's looking not real comfortable right now. No, he's got his hands put a little better on this time. He doesn't look like he's giving himself a stranger, at least. He made the ball, came up there, did not get a shot, though. So he's going to have to shoot a bank shot. I like shooting this 6 ball if it's clean. If this ball's clean, this could be an awfully cool shot. You can freeze him pretty good right there in there and blast that 6 ball into the 11, 12, moving balls over. Now, I don't know if it goes by there or not. Apparently not, because he's not shooting it. He's looking way the other way at the 10 ball. Can he slide over there past the 4? He did. Did he make it? I don't hear it. It didn't drop. What did he give up? What did he give up? Oh, did somebody hit the replay button? Nope. Sorry, I'm looking at multiple screens here at once. We got a shot for Tom. I think he's going to get put in the stack right here. He didn't get it up there, but he did move the balls pretty good. Missed the stack. Joe's got a way out. He could cross this ball and run the cue ball into the 11, which is what I like right here, moving the most balls. You could even do it with a little bit of power, or you could do it like a pussy and not move anything, which is okay too. I'm not saying there's a huge problem with it. It's just that he's not out of any kind of a trap. He's still in trouble. And Tom can probably get out of this by going off that 4 ball like he's looking now. No, he went off the 7. Yeah, he hit it good. Wow, I didn't know he could get down there. He did, though. Now the 14, 12 doesn't go, so what about just banking the 4 off the wall, off the 7, and just freezing the cue ball right there by the 10 ball? You don't want to get... I'd roll the cue ball dead forward with high inside English and just freeze it right there. You don't want to give him too much room to manipulate stuff. So he went off the 4. He gave up a bank. He didn't get anything moved. I don't know if this is going to go well. I'm drawing this cue ball right behind the 14 and opening up all that stuff to my hole. So low inside, just drop it like it's hot. I think that's a really good shot. I don't think Joe's going to be in danger of giving up balls on this particular shot, but this hole's getting deep. It's getting deep. Deeper. But Tom will look to make it. I see a shot off the 4 ball. It could be a good shot. He could certainly just play off this 3 ball. Although you're starting to open things up with no traffic and giving up you give up that 11 ball and he's going to hammer it into those balls. Or has he got a soft kick at the 12 now? A little touch of outside English. I don't think he can see the whole 11. Can he go ahead and bank this? Can he bank the 3 ball and roll the cue ball up towards the 12? I think he can. I think he banked this 3 ball, roll the cue ball straight by the 12. He went for the sellout kick and did not make it. I thought he might go for the good bank on the 3 and roll a cue ball up by the 12. He didn't. He chose to go for the kick shot, did not make it. Tom has a shot for sure. It doesn't have to go. It's a diamond and a half off the end rail. And I think he's going to shoot it because their risk reward is pretty good in his favor. I'd say he's in the 80s to make this ball, in the 90s to at least stick it right in front of the hole like that. Not make it. And look where he left it. I mean, that's brutal. So if you're Joe here, you just hit a stop shot on the 11 ball. It makes that ball, it brings his cue ball over, but you can't sell out again. You got to stop the cue ball for God's sakes. So Tom's going to look to run again. He's going to look to run. So I think the 3 ball goes. So but he looks like he's going high ball with this, like he's going to spit out 2 rails to get the 12 next. That ball can spin long. It does. So now he still has to shoot the 3 ball. Like I said, and I think he could have got there an easier way. But I think it's tight. He looks like he might be looking at the combo. If he is, I'd start looking at a different shot. But yeah, he's looking at the 3 ball. Just going to roll it in and try to play shape on the 12, just about where the 3 is now. But he caught a hanger, a bumper, a titty, a rail. He rubbered it. And Joe is going to get a chance to run some balls. I tell you, it's a good shot there. They both are going to be disappointed in the running ability. Neither one of them are quite getting the amounts that they should off of their shots, their chances. Let's see if Joe can bank this ball and hold for the 12. And remember, this table rolls uphill slightly. So if he tries to cheat this at all, hoping it'll dive, it won't. And if you shoot it backwards like that, it for sure shit won't. So he put that ball back by Tom. So is Tom going to get a little aggressive here? I don't think so, but he could and bank this 1 ball. But with a shooter like Joe, you don't want to give him a good look at that 8 ball, which is what will happen if he shoots this 1 ball bank. I don't think he can keep him off of all that. Yep. So here we go. He's going for a really safe shot, but it's not so safe. That 13-8 is looming large, and Joe, I think, can shoot this ball, this 4 ball, and pop draw that cue ball back to the end rail or come off the side rail, either one, and leave the cue ball down there kind of nasty. Now, I don't know if that's what he's going to do, but it's possible. Now, banking the 7 ball, man, he's going to cut that ball by his pocket often. I think it's at the 12, maybe. I mean, yikes. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Is he back cutting this ball? What do you guys think? It's there. It's a mindfuck kind of a shot if you've ever played straight pool. Especially if you're a bad straight pool player, then you've missed that shot many, many a time. If you're a good straight pool player, you probably made that shot many, many a time, opening up the stack. So he's choosing to shoot the riskier ball here, and the chances to get more balls. Didn't work for him. Kind of surprised he chose that one the way he's pocketing balls today. I think sometimes like a pitcher like Wainwright, you know, when you don't got your fastball, you got to switch it up a little bit to your curveball and just stick with it. And sometimes, like, you know, it happens to me often when I don't have the firepower. I don't have my good stroke. I don't have a shot. I just can't make balls. Or I just got to outmove people and just keep moving and keep banking and keep cross banking and keep kicking balls out and just keep working hard and find a way to win. That was a pretty decent little shot. Tom's right-handed, so it'll be easy to kick this ball out 2 rails. Well, you'll spin one rail into it, try to kick the ball like you're banking it up towards the 8 ball maybe. Don't see any other great options. I mean, he can bank this 4 ball to his hole, but there is a scratch possibility. I don't think you can make the ball, so there's not like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow or anything. So we're going to go ahead and kick this ball out nice and soft-like, but he let it out. And Joe's going to get yet another chance to run a ball. If he could get more than 2 balls at a time here and there, he'd be dangerous. But for some reason, he's just struggling running balls today. Yep. I mean, this guy's won like no Masters tournaments before. You know, he's won tournaments. I mean, this guy can play pool, and he's not running balls for shit. I mean, he just isn't. So, you know, yeah, not much I can say. You got to run better than that when you're a runner. If you're a shooter, you got to shoot a little better.
This moment of escape was brought to you by Acura, for people who love cars. Carroll showed his legacy with fast cars didn't end with Le Mans. On the contrary, he started putting his mark on all kinds of vehicles. The most famous, the Mustang. The first Shelby GT350 Mustang debuted in 1965 and truly established a racing pedigree for Ford's pony car. Variations followed, all sharing race-inspired looks and performance.
Wow. He hit that ball pretty sporty. Tom may go ahead and elect to cut this 13 in. It's sitting like it wants to go.
This collaboration with Ford ended in 1969, and it wasn't until 2007 that Ford came out with the new GT500, ending production in 2014. It was a great car, but it's been over 5 years. Like a spoiled little
I mean, if he was 3 inches off the rail where he could really cue this ball well, I think he would have already shot the 13 by now. Being a little close to the rail is probably the only thing that slowed him down just a little bit. Niagara Falls, New York. Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm just now checking the Facebook thing on here. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Valley Park, Missouri, to be more specific. If you're from St. Louis, I just have a little bitty spot. Maybe we just have a 9-footer and a 7-footer. There's nothing like this. There's no 9-footer within 30 minutes of my house anyway. So I built this place to get everything out of my basement. I mostly sell cues and cases. I've got about 50 JB cases and about 70 cues or so. bunch of other stuff, T-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, and knickknacks, gloves, stuff like that. So just a place for pool for St. Louis players to come and get their game on, especially when you're looking for a private place to play or you're looking for a different kind of a setting. We're not a bar, so there's not a lot of drunks around, not a lot of things to deal with. It's just kind of a cool little private club, although not very private. Yeah, and so we mostly set up matches here. We watch stuff here. We play bank ring games here on Thursdays. We do all kinds of fun stuff here. It's just a cool place. So anybody's welcome. It's not an exclusive private club, anything like that. If you're a pool player, you're welcome to come here. If you're not a pool player, you're still welcome to come here. I will tell you this, if you do show up here, I can't guarantee you're going to get to play on a Friday night because oftentimes the tables will be taken up. I can't promise that even if you, but if you call and schedule a match, like you say, hey, I'd like to show up, I'm going to play such and such at such and such time, and the tables are open, I'll pre-schedule them for you and hold them for you, and you can come have a great night. If you want me to set a match up for you, you can call and tell me all about yourself and how you play and what you're looking for and what you're hoping to get out of it, and I'll set you up a match. If you call and tell me you don't really know how you play, but you play okay, but you'd like to do this and this and that, I'm going to tell you that the only guy we have available for you, his name's Justin. So, yeah, let me know what it is you're wanting. Like I said, we like to play, good, tough, hard games here. Everybody learns. Everybody gets a little better. And they have a lot of fun. Guys get to get what they want out of it. So, some guys just want practice. Some guys want to get better. Some guys want to test their manhood. Some guys want to test their wallets. Some guys want to test their wives. One good thing, she'll know where you are. You can't hide. We'll put you on the stream. She won't have to worry about other women being here because that doesn't happen very often. And if there is, she's usually related to somebody here. Joey Balboni didn't try too hard to cut it to his hole. A little thinner would have been a whole lot better. Get that cue ball up behind the 9, and the 15 would have been within the diamonds, within the 1 foot square box. Now this ball's getting shot to Tom's hole, probably with a pretty good degree of accuracy. I'd say he's going to get it within the 7-inch box reasonably often, as he did. Joe looks like he's wanting to shoot this little ball here. He's a touch jacked up over the corner pocket. I can't say I advise this. Now, if you're just rolling it with straight topspin to play safe or play position on the 15, I can advise it, but he doesn't look like that's what he's looking for here. He's rolling straight at it, and if he hung that ball, he gave this one up, but he didn't. Now he's going to have to try to kick it in. This is not a good shot here. It's not a pretty shot. It's not a fun shot. I don't envy him for having it. I wonder if he's really going to try to kick this to his hole or just kick it to the end rail to avoid giving up a bank. That's the safest route to go. Nope, he tried to kick it to his hole and gave up the bank. He did what we call the ultimate C player move in one pocket. At some point in time, you learn it's not a good idea to kick if you don't kick very, very well. Kicking's an important part of one pocket, but it's an important part of it once you learn and master a bunch of other skills. If you don't know where that ball's going, you just can't kick it, because more often than not, you leave a bank. Now that ball's a whole lot closer to his hole. Joe can get this one out of there, though. The question is where does the cue ball go? He hit that good. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, when I call for a kick, it's usually because things are lying real well. Like, if your ball's inside your first diamond to your hole and it's off the rail by almost anything, if it's as long as it's off the rail where you can hit it a lot of ways, still good. But if it's frozen to the rail, it's a tough kick. A lot of bad things can happen. So there's good times to kick in bad, and there's good scores to kick in and bad scores. And if you don't know the difference, I don't suggest doing it. Like kicking at the stack, man. You don't know where that ball's going. It isn't the best idea to go ahead and do it. I don't know. It looks like it might be 7 balls to 5. Is there I only see... So it might be 7-5. So Tom might need. They might both need 2. It's a good shot here. Unless, of course, you scratch for a reason. I mean, holy smokers. I mean, that's a dagger. One of those shots, you're not really even trying to do anything. He wasn't trying to make that ball. He just hit it hard enough to get anywhere near his hole. We've all done it. We all do it. But, man, you got to minimize those, man. Those scratches when you're not trying to accomplish anything, man. You're not trying to. He wasn't trying to do anything there. Got to control that cue ball. He doesn't always. He doesn't normally even. But this is like an exception here. I mean, it cost him that game. That's for sure. Tom will look to punish this one out. All right, where do they sit now? I thought they were even the last game. But
I forgot to move my coin.
yeah, I just realized he forgot to move his coin.
Well, that was your break. You break on even.
Oh, okay. Sure, I wasn't.
I'm on your break.
Yeah.
Joey, I'm forgetting a lot of shit here.
I think the coin's correct now. But it's kind of weird when you're doing this streaming thing and you're 4 feet away from the table. You know, you don't really want to get involved in the game, but you also want things to be right. And like half the time they ask you questions to keep the game right, but then you also feel when you just step in when not asked. It's a fine line to cross and not cross. And, you know, I try to keep things as fair as possible without getting involved when possible. You know, it's tough. I don't have a right answer, and I certainly don't do everything right. So it's a tough situation to be in, though, as a streaming guy 4 feet away from the table. Like I said, you try not to get involved unless they ask you, but when they ask you several times and you feel like you should get involved, it's kind of like either A, you're going to get involved, or B, you don't. You know, or get involved only when one player asks. I don't know. It's tough.
I could see the whole spot. Balls were an entire ball back. I was like, I can't shoot that.
Here we go. Tom with the break. 1 ball off the rail. High inside English. Last break very successful. The break before that, not so much. He caught the end ball again that time and rolled through it. Joe's going to have a good shot. I wonder if he can do anything after this. I don't think so. I think the ball's going to be forced forward. Oh, he didn't make it. So Tom, I think, can shoot this ball. Have some fun here. I think he can shoot this ball, come around, maybe get a shot at this combo. Possible. There's no way he's going to shoot this 3-ball combo. I cannot believe. Although, you know, Joe's only got 1 ball over here, but do you really want to, you know, let's say it doesn't go. Like, let's say you hit it, you know, the cue ball ends up here. Do you really want Joe hitting this ball and coming over here? You know, I don't know if I want that, even though nothing else goes. So maybe it's worth it. Maybe it is worth shooting this. Oh, he went from the 5 to 5 and got it there. But now look at this. The balls get crossed up. Oh, that's a really unfortunate roll there because Tom really hit that ball good, and he found a nice little way to get him over there. But now the balls are open, and he's not shooting this 2-5. He just can't. You can't let Joe get these. These balls are going to be open. The 6 ball is going to be completely opened up right now. You can't do that.
$29 per month. Or get $1,500 customer cash on him. Find yours at buyatoyota.com.
Yeah, I don't know if Joe's got the game today to make him pay for this too bad. But it certainly was a mistake. Like I said, Joe's struggling though. He's not. Like I don't think anything good's going to come out of this. I was wrong. But he's still not in a great spot here.
Right now, lease the 2020 Sportage LX for $179 a month and get 0% APR for 66 months.
I might fire the 4 into the 3 and draw the cue back into the 5 and just pray for something. Try to draw it between the 5 and the rail. I mean, nothing like this is going to go well. You know, I mean, this just isn't going to go well. Let's see what all he's got here. So
Yeah.
Joe's even. Yeah, Tom's got a lot of balls to play off of. And if he can get to that 7 ball up there and 2-rail it to his hole at all, without the double kiss or anything, without selling out the 10, he didn't even try. He just pushed it over. I might have tried it to get that extra blocker out there. I don't know. So, what can Joe do? Can he come off the 4 ball and try to get down between the 5 and the rail? He can do that, which I think is a sellout. I'm pretty sure Tom can make the 2, and if he can, Joe is in big trouble. If he can make the 2 here, Joe's in big, big, big trouble. I would say he has 0 chance of winning this game unless Tom scratches, unless, like I said, Tom should get 2, 3, 4 and own the setup to this table. Joe should be in a bad spot when Tom's done shooting here. So what do you do? Draw it for the 1 ball, or do you go high left and try to go through the 113? That seems like a tall order to spin through. Or do you just try to spin underneath the 1 to the rail and back out to get the 1? Nope, he went right through there perfectly. I think he went through perfectly unless the 10 caught him. If the 10 didn't catch him, though, he's in great shape. If the 10 caught him, he's going to have to shoot the 8-13 combo, which isn't going to look like fun. Or you just play off the 5. I guess the 10 got him. He didn't look real happy, so I'm guessing the 10 got him. There's a 3-railer on the 7, but you're jacked up over the 10. Anybody like that move? I don't think so. Nothing wrong with that. Joe doesn't have a good shot this 10, although he's not even going to bother looking. He's going to clip this 1 ball or go straight in the corner, one of the 2. So he clipped the 1 ball. Gave up a nice big fat bank to Tom. Tom is going to bank this ball. The cue ball might end up by the 7 ball. I mean, there's a lot of places this cue ball can end up. It depends on how he hits the 10. Bottom line is I don't know that I would try to hit this 10 all that great. I would hit it with, I'd try more for the cue ball. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like any of the ways out of it. There's a 9-8 combo to your hole here that you could hit with a little bit of firmness and maybe run the cue ball into the 1 ball. I'm going to have to really get a look at it to see what I like, but that wasn't it. That's going to sting. We got a nice bank on the 8. We got a just a straight shot off the 1 with some low right hand spin to try to get out for the 10 ball. I think he could go rail first 1, but I don't know if the cue ball doesn't run into the 10 though before it gets out. I think it does, so I don't think that's an option. I think just center left or low left, some kind of good left hand spin. Yeah, I didn't like that. I wanted to get on the 10 ball there. I don't know if he can make the 13 and he's fine, but I don't know if he can or not. I guess we're going to find out here real quick. I think he can make it, especially if he puts a little Spanglish on it. He can definitely make it. So, he did not, though. He hung it. Didn't sell out anything, though, I don't think. Joe will get a chance to pocket that ball, leave him right in front of the hoe. Trying to protect that 11 ball just a little bit. Tom not in any danger. I think I'd play off this 5 ball into the side rail than the end rail. I'd tell him to put it by the chalk, but apparently they have 9 pieces of chalk out there right now, so I don't think I'm going to say that. What's the shot? This could come back to haunt him here. This cue ball could get buried down here real easily. And that's a bad place to be. Now Joe didn't make him pay for it the way he hit it. He left Tom a really good way out. I wonder if I'm Tom, I'm banking this 14 pretty hard into the 10, bringing the cue ball all the way up table. And the other option is to go off the 14 behind the 11, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that's not what I would do. Yeah, I would have been shotting it just like that, but maybe even a touch harder and thinner. Problem with that is you may not have gave Joe any choice but to shoot. Not that that's a huge problem, but let a shooter shoot. Sometimes they shoot their way out of some shit. How'd he do? He's gonna be froze to this ball. Dead froze. All right. So now has he got the angle to just cross the 14 over the 10? He did. Man, I wish he would take 4 seconds to look at some shit. I mean, he takes no time at all to look at these shots and not line them up and map them out and figure out where they're all going and just dink them in there. I mean, you got to execute a higher degree of care when you're playing one pocket for money, because millimeters matter, centimeters matter, and those friggin' feet matter. Well, Tom got his one. I'm just joking. But here we'll see a pretty good bank shot. I think he'll put it pretty close. Although I think he's going to go all out to make it, though, because playing this cue ball safe is not that easy. Yeah, he just went all out to make it. So with as big of a lead as he has, I would not... Oh, it's over. All right, well, never mind. I was going to say, his next shot, I wouldn't be trying anything other than just playing safe.
Can't even beat you on a bad day.
I think Tom's back up 2 games. Tell him. Oh.
I can't beat you when you're tired. I can't beat you ever with that bad.
I played Brendan dead tired.
I think these guys were talking about being done. So I'm going to turn the mic off for a second and see what I can figure out, and I'll let you guys know. All right, guys. Sorry about that, but that is going to be all of it for tonight. I think the guys are all done. So thank you for joining us and watching. We'll try to put on some more streams. I'm sure we'll be up tomorrow night. We usually have a bank ring game, but it could be a doubles one pocket game tomorrow. Not sure yet. And Fridays and Saturdays, we always get some good action going, so I'm sure we'll have some stuff for you. Somebody's talking about playing Saturday day. Who knows? I might have to rehab a house, so I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks for everybody. We really appreciate it, and you're always welcome. If you're looking for a JB Rugged case, please come to the Players Club. Brendan Sullivan on Facebook on Open Billiard Market, St. Louis Players Club, stlplayersclub.com, anything like that. And we appreciate y'all. Have a great night.